I really need to work on that members list. I'm sure half those people aren't even members anymore. What's up, creepers? And Geekers Chris, the Retro Creep. How's everyone doing this fine Saturday morning? That song has been stuck in my head, probably for the past 2 weeks, and I can't get it out. So every now and again when I'm warming up playing the guitar, I warm up to it. You'll have to excuse me. I'm still fucking waking up. It's 9:30 in the morning. I've been up since like 7 something. Mainly just lounging in my bed, staring at my phone. But I figured, one of the young ladies and the missus are on a field trip down to Worcester. Welcome to Worcester. $1.25, please. Well, should I hand you the coins or shove them directly up your fat fucking ass? We already heard that one today, you piece of repeating shit. It's a great skit. I hate Adam Sandler, but Toll Booth Willie. Toll Booth Willie's good shit. I'm gonna fuck you and all your fish-eating lesbian friends in front of your fucking mothers. You're gonna die, bitch, because I'm coming out of the booth. Don't anyone get uptight. Do I have my glasses here? Howard, what's going on, buddy? I'm telling you, man, every time I want to say your name, every time I want to say hi to you, I can't help but think of the movie Private Parts. And the way somebody in the background a few times throughout the movie goes, Howard? I don't know if it's supposed to be like an old engineer of his or something like that. Joan Jett, yeah, man. I fucking dig Joan Jett, man. Ever since I was a little kid and I heard that song. I think that's it right there. So she approaches it like a punk player. Joan Jett's one of those cats where it's like she only really picked up the guitar because she liked that you could control that kind of noise. She never called it well, I mean, I'm sure she calls it music, but whenever you hear her talking about her guitars and stuff, there's actually an Epiphone Melody Maker signature of hers that was like $160. I kind of wish I had gotten it. Shut up, Howard. Howard. But seriously, next time you watch that movie, bro, just listen for it. Throughout the whole movie, someone in the background is the same voice. Going, Howard? Doesn't matter where he is, what part of life he's in. And it's not, I don't think it's his father. In the movie, anyway. As far as the actor playing his father, is what I meant to say. But yeah, Joan Jett would always talk about guitars as just something to make noise with. And she's like, I just love the idea of being able to control that. And I don't get into the whole gender thing. I believe that if you have the ability to do something, you have the ability to do something. I don't think there's any other parameters that really have to be fucking, that have to be fulfilled in order to at least play rock and roll, I got my 1986 Kramer. Fucking love this guitar. I really want to upgrade it, though. I really want to throw in some nice pickups. And I want to get a nice Godot bridge for it. It's got that Floyd Rose 2. It's kind of a cuck-up bridge. It really is. It looks cool. But this was a budget guitar. And I like it. But yeah, Joan Jett was awesome, man. I mean, she still is. But she had a couple of Melody Maker signature guitars. I was a big fan of it, and I talk about him a lot on the other channel. This guy, Trogley. Trogley's Guitars. He does a video every fucking day. And he's mainly a Gibson guy, you know. He mainly showcases like high-end Gibsons and vintage Gibsons. But I mean, if you buy a guitar through him, because he can get a bit of a break from some dealers, so you can go through him and he'll do a fucking video on your guitar, so you have video documentation of it and all kinds of stuff. But he's a big fan. He's a big fan of Joan Jett's guitars. He's a big fan of the Melody Maker, which, as am I. In fact, there's a Melody Maker-esque guitar for sale locally. Let me find it. I'll show it to you guys. It's from a company called Series 10 or something like that. I can't remember the exact name. But they've been around for a long time. They know what they're doing as far as mimicking guitars and such. Oh, excuse me, my news is all kinds of itchy. Let me go into my saved stuff. I thought sometimes it just pops right up. But there's a really cool Melody Maker-esque guitar for sale for like $100 locally that I would love to get my hands on, but there are like so many other guitars that are more important in the scheme of things. All right, yeah, Series 10. Let me talk to OBS here about letting you see what the fuck I'm looking at. Window capture, Series 10. You can't see it. There it is. There it is. So a Melody Maker. So back in the late 50s, Gibson had, if you want to start at the top, you had, as far as hard body, solid body electric guitars, Les Paul Custom. You had the Les Paul Standard. Then you had the Junior series, which were still slab bodies without a carved maple cap. Usually a single pickup. They also had what they called the Special, which was a 2 pickup version of those guitars. Still just a thin, no carved top. Usually with P90 pickups. And then you had this thing called the Melody Maker, which is pretty much what this is. Mocking, or mimicking. This one was probably from the late 70s, early 80s. He says 80s or 90s. That might be true. Everything about this guitar is baffling to me, because it's like, why the Melody Maker? If you're gonna copy any guitar, why the Melody Maker? It's cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad it exists. But of all of Gibson's fucking history, why the Melody Maker? Right? But the Melody Maker was a really thin body. I'm talking like just over an inch thick. Single pickup like this, a little single coil. Some of them were stacked, but most of them weren't. In this case it's bolt-on, but Melody Makers were still glued in necks, set necks, rosewood fingerboard. Real simple. Beginning guitar. And Joan Jett was really into let's do that. Let's just do this. I was really into the Melody Makers. Let me make sure you guys can see better what I'm looking at again. Yeah, that's good. No, fuck it. We're just fucking around. I can't see the chat right now, so if there's people fucking yapping, I apologize. You know what? Let me pull my cell phone up over here. Well, people have chatted, and according to this, there's no chat, so I guess my phone's not going to be any fucking help. But she had one of this style right here. It's kind of like a double cutaway situation. Again, let me make sure you can see what I'm looking at. Yeah. So over here on the right, just by my Grim Reaper guy, you got this weird fish shape. If you turn it sideways, it looks like a fish cracker. You know, the Petridge Farm fish crackers. Really fun stuff. And hers ended up white with a bunch of fucking stickers and some random pickup that was found somewhere that was made by some guy that they no longer exist anymore as far as, a new product. But this is what Joan Jett mainly plays. I'll show you the Melody Maker. That thing was mocking, or mimicking, I should say, one of these Bad Larrys. This is your student. basic student, late 50s kind of situation going on. Every now and again, Gibson reissues them. Like here's a Joan Jett Melody Maker Black Heart series. Fuck off. Fuck off. Block. Oh my god. You know what? As soon as your website has pop-ups, I'm fucking gone. I don't care if I need your product to stay alive. I'm off like a prom dress. But she had a couple of a Gibson variation like this, and then there was this one with this black finish. It was really rad. Let me open this up in another window. And again, make sure you can kind of see what I'm looking at. Yep. Where the wood grain itself had kind of a lighter color than the actual wood. It's hard to describe. But they use two different styles of dyes or whatever. You can actually use rub and buff to create this effect if you really wanted to. But there's hearts on the inlay. And the headstock actually had an Epiphone headstock that had like this weird, like a heart on the end of it. It's pretty neat stuff. Pretty neat stuff. But then she came out with an Epiphone version. This is mainly what it looks like today. Joan Jett's guitar. Open image in a new tab. And when you buy the Epiphone one, it has a heart-shaped thing on the headstock, which is what the Epiphone ones would have had back in the day. And I believe the Gibson one came with all these stickers, so you could choose to put it on there. But she even said, like with the Epiphone one, she says, I wanted to do one in white because I wanted you guys to make it your own. You know, I wanted you. Yeah, that's fucking weird. The live chat is not even showing on here. But Howard's been fucking yapping this whole time. I apologize for not being able to read any of that, but oh my fucking leg. Welcome to Wista. Oh my fucking leg. I can't believe you hit Toe Booth Willie. I always wanted to know what it'd be like to kill that dried up stinky dick licker. Oh, I can hear every fucking word you're saying. Shut up, Howard. Joan Jett looks fantastic still. She really does. I said in this one stream a while back that I had a supervisor when I worked for the city who looked just like her, sounded just like her. And I was just like, you know what, you're kind of a smoke show. She was just like, shut up and get out there and get to work. Just punk-style songs. Yeah, dude. There's nothing wrong with it. I can't tell you how many nights me and my buddies have just been bored. Just fucking bored, drinking, or whatever we were doing that night. And this is years ago. And instead of trying to play nice things, we were just like... You know, it's just fun to be punky, or even just... Wow, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've just done what I used to call panic picking. When you just like, you know, Ramon style and shit. Fucking hell yeah. But I'm really interested in checking one of those out. Zounds had them for sale for a while. I don't even think they're available in shops anymore. Sure, Reverb have plenty of them. I'm actually just in the background. I am going to see. Now she also did come out with a semi-hollow guitar too. Is it 2 T's for Joan Jett? Yeah. Oh shit! Some people are trying to get like $700 for those now. They were like $150 like 5 months ago. Holy hell! $4.99, $4.25. Are you out of your fucking minds? I wouldn't pay that new. All right, well, whatever. But that's honestly why, you know, I've had fucking I love rock and roll stuck in my head. I think maybe because I just recently saw an interview or something with her in it, but I don't play it punky. I play it with little finesses and stuff like that. Like it's supposed to be played. That's boring to me. You know, I give it a little. You know, I bend, and I don't even pluck the low E half the time. I just use my finger to. You know. Oh, you can't even see that I'm not picking. It's fucking. Yeah. Again, let me look it up real quick. Joan Jett's signature. They weren't really popular, but she's all about it. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna go right to the source. I'm gonna go right to the source. Okay, yes. It's an ES339. It's basically a 335 slightly shrunken down. Again, I'll show you the screen that I'm looking at so you can at least see, you know, that red guitar right there, bro. Let me make this bigger. So I'm not going to go into Google. But that thing right there. I don't know where it came from. I think maybe Gibson was just like, can we try to do something other than Melody Makers, please? Melody Makers, even though with the signature on it, aren't really all that fucking expensive. We would like to make money with your fucking name, woman. And 339, baby. I personally wouldn't like that. I don't know. I don't like the solid red. I don't like the black binding. I'd rather have her little rock machine there, that little, that white Melody Maker. Fuck yeah. But the one that I was showing you on the Facebook Marketplace, I'd like to fuck around with that a little bit. Of course, I would change the pickup, because those single coils are always crap pickups. And I do have an affinity for single pickup guitars. There's just something about having the lack of magnetic force on the strings that give it a little bit more of a, I don't know, freer, open, more. And it's subtle. If you're a guitar player, I mean, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not, I doubt you even give a shit about any of this, to be honest with you. Whereas this guitar here has 3 pickups. There's a magnet controlling all of this. And when you get rid of these here, obviously there's less magnets pulling on the string. And how the guitar works is when you pluck the string, it vibrates. And between that and something to do with the magnetic field of the pickups, it creates its own little field. And then the sound goes into the fucking jack. There's really not much to it. In fact, it's still voodoo rocket science to me. I don't know how it happens, but it does. And I'm glad it does. Because if it wasn't for literally this guitar, I probably wouldn't be on this planet anymore. You guys would never have known me. I would never have gotten old enough for the fucking internet. Think about that. If it wasn't for the electric guitar. But single pickup guitars have just been kind of like a thing with me, especially lately. And I would still keep it a single pickup guitar, but I would absolutely like to convert it over to something that's more useful. That single coil, unless it does sound exceptional, I would swap it out for at the very least a mini humbucker, if not a P90, or they even make humbuckers in the shape of the P90 soap bar pickups. Whereas I have the opposite in the guitar I did an acrylic pour to has humbucker-sized P90s, whereas you can buy P90-sized humbuckers. It's complicated, isn't it? Isn't the world of guitars complicated? Well, we'll do 250K pots for what? The single coils and 500 for that, but you can also use a 4500 and this and that, and 25,000 for the fucking EMGs, and or 25K. But yeah, there's just something about it. There's something about the slinkiness, the flow of the strings. You're a little looser, you know, that you really feel them, and there's more vibration to the guitar. And when you strum it, you can really feel it throughout the body and the neck. I mean, you're literally feeling the guitar play while you're playing the guitar. It's fucking wonderful. And if you put the right controls in it, if you put nice controls in it, if you put nice, in my case it would be 500K pots with an orange drop capacitor, maybe a Bumblebee, wired up in what they call 50s wiring. You can get a lot out of that one pickup. And the great thing about it is you're not just limited to just a pickup and your knobs. And you'd be surprised by how much you can get done with just having two knobs and a pickup. Bam, done. Have a nice day. Between your tone and your volume, you can sit there and dial in little nuances, but it's also where you pick. You know, all up here has nothing. So you're free to pick. I mean, you're free to pick there anyway. But what I'm saying is picking down here, and you can even hear it with this guitar. Kind of warms up a little bit the higher up the neck you go, and it takes the edge off of it. You know, there's up here it's real sharp, and as I move closer to the neck, it gets a little rounder, darker, if you will. So with the right setting on the volume and tone, you can play up here and simulate like a neck pickup or something softer, and then you pull the volume back up and then come back down to it. Oh, yeah. Didn't Parker Fly use transducers? Yeah. Well, technically this is a transducer too. It's just magnet fueled. But yeah, in their bridges, they had these little saddles. They were shaped like this and then like this. They had forks that the screw would be on to adjust it. It was an actual saddle. The saddle had this ball end with like a little divot in it. That's what the string ran on. I used to have a whole handful of those. I just thought they were cool looking. I put them on models and shit, you know. Oh, I'll show you guys a project I've been working on. I think you can appreciate it. It's based off of this thing. I'm destroying a vintage toy. Your feelings. Didn't work anyway. We fixed it here on the channel, but it just keeps... It's trash. It's a Clico boxing handheld or tabletop, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's a piezo transducer. Those little button. Whenever you have something that goes beep, it has a buzz sound to it. That's also a transducer. You could technically use that, but they had that in the bridge on the saddles, touching the strings, along with the circuit board, and that emulated acoustic guitar tones. You had both your electric guitar stuff, and of course you had the acoustic stuff too. Worked really well, really good stuff. Fishman knew what he was doing. Larry Fishman technically owned Parker Guitars when I worked there. His name was on the paychecks. I didn't get paid by Parker Guitars. I got paid by Fishman Industries or whatever the fuck they were called. And Larry, I guess, funded the money for Ken Parker. He recently passed away last year. He passed away last year. I did like a little video about it on my other channel. I worked for the guy. I didn't like him as an employer, but as a fucking innovator and a creator, he was far beyond. I mean, some of the things he came up with, I bet you will become standards in the future. But his guitars were definitely not everyone's cup of tea, but they were definitely very forward-thinking. And I would say Ken Parker probably was one of the first, if not, the first individual who actually furthered guitar, took it out of its original old, dusty conventions and actually expanded on it, There's only so much you can do with the concept of an electric guitar. You can use technology all you want, but it always just comes back to wires and magnets every fucking time. But I hear his amps are pretty good, Fishman, that is. I've never used any of his amps, honestly. I didn't even know they had amps. Excuse me. My nose is crazy itchy today. I don't know why. I mean, we got a little snow yesterday, so maybe that's kicking something up. I don't know. I doubt it, but we're supposed to get another like fucking 10 inches tomorrow night into Monday. I don't have any more room for fucking snow, guys. I have no more room. I got nowhere to put it. So it looks like my neighbor's driveway is going to get it, and then I'll let his machine fucking clear it out. I'll just push it over in Joe's fucking driveway. Our driveway's touch. There's no barrier. Oh, it's wonderful stuff. It's wonderful stuff. Uh-oh, hold on. Okay, it's my buddy Mike. You like how I surprised you with that? He sent me this video, right, where this guy had this little birdie that recently hatched, a little chickadee, and apparently still had a lot of the egg crap on it. So he gave it a little bath. He made like this little cup of soapy hot water and some Q-tips, and then put it in this tiny little towel to warm up and dry. And knowing my buddy, what the type of shit that we send back and forth, I genuinely thought it was going to be some kind of, maybe AI, but the fucking bird was either going to be put in the thing and shook to be clean, and then a blow dryer throwing him across the fucking room. But no, it was a cute little video of this little chickadee, maybe no much bigger than this little guy. And I always love that. Violin players seem to use Fishman. Acoustic players as well. Yeah, he's one of the leaders. I would say he, if not the leader in the industry. Fishman, what is the company called? It's like Fishman Technologies or something like that. Fishman, I'm going to look it up. Fishman. Oh, now it's just the Fishman Corporation? No, that's a different. It's the same logo though. Are they really selling like digital soldering irons and shit now? But I don't know. Oh, just Fishman transducers. Okay, that's simple. And of course, the dude from what was his name? Herman Lee. He's the first fucking dude you see when you go on their website. I know you can't see it. I didn't care if you could see it or not. But man, I can't fucking wake up today. Maybe we should play some games. You want to play some games? Man, I remember waking up playing games, watching the fucking, the Saturday morning cartoons while eating my Honey Nut Cheerios or my Fruit Loops. I love that chord. Let me turn this down a little. That dreaded B. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Howard can't be the only fucking dude in here, is he? It would appear so. There's only 3 people in there. So it's Howard, myself, through my alt account, and one other lurker in the background. I wonder who it is. Is they friend or is they foe? Who goes there? Speak up, old man. Make yourself known. Or woman. It's rare. I got a couple of women who come over here once in a while. I got Linda. We got Megantron. fairly new to the Creep. And I can't recall if there are any other chicks. I don't know. I miss that shit. Roadrunner, Bugs Bunny, yeah. Tom and Jerry was always one of my favorites. But Saturday mornings didn't have a lot of that. I mean, it had the Bugs Bunny and shit, but that was always later. Early mornings had what we used to call Japanimation, like Speed Racer and all that crap. Sorry, I got an itchy thing here. It's not even like a rash. I'm just itchy. I think it's because of dry skin. I never put lotion on. I fucking hate lotions. Like it skeeves me out to put any of this shit on me. But I do have some patches of like eczema and shit, so I keep a thing with this around. Every now and again I use the FAP too, but that's neither here nor there. Fucking with you. But it was like Snorks and fucking Transformers and stuff like that, I believe. I know after school had the G.I. Joe and the Transformers and the He-Mans and all that crap, but I wonder why they don't do the Saturday morning cartoon thing anymore. Kids still like cartoons, right? I mean, I suppose with the advent of tablets and shit and YouTube. Thunder the Barbarian, oh my god! Oh my god, hell yeah, I'm looking that up again. Oh my god, I remember that cheesy cartoon. And then there was, of course, what was his name? Captain Caveman. There's actually quite a few prehistoric. I mean, of course, you had the Jetsons, not Jetsons. That's the opposite of that. The Flintstones. BC. But yeah, Smurfs, yeah. I like the Snorks, if that's what you're talking about with dorks. Oh, or you're saying Smurfs were for dorks. I like the Smurfs, they're alright. It always bothered me that Smurfette was the only chick in the village, too, even at a young age. Not necessarily sexuality reasons. It's just, and I remember her origins. I know she was created to infiltrate and possibly, Jabba Jaw! Absolutely. Absolutely. But I know she was there to infiltrate so that, what was his name, Gargamel? Oh my god, what was his name? Was the cat Gargamel? Or was the bad guy Gargamel? I can't remember now. But either way, one of the two liked eating them, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I just remember that all of the convenience stores around me had those big fishbowl buckets full of the figures for 99 cents each. And there was never the same two in each bucket, you know. You'd get one, your friend would be like, oh, I like that one too. And he'd dig and dig and dig and never find it. And you never see it again. Smurfette, baby. And Papa Smurf always has Smurfette underneath his wing. Yep. The elder always wins. The elder will always win. No matter what. Let's play just whatever game this is. Astro War. Also known as, I don't remember, Sideways fucking Astro Smash. Astro Blast. Alright. Was it? The dude was Gargamel. Okay. What was the cat's name? Look that up for me. Wasn't it something like Wicked Sinister? I know it wasn't Lucifer. That's Disney stuff. Gargamel. What a fucking cool name. You know what? You gotta give these guys props, man. If you even like just watch the Toys That Made Us, the Transformers one, they literally just handed a bunch of fucking pictures and ideas to some guys to come up with names and descriptions and shit. Megatron. It's like, first of all, what the fuck is a Tron? You know, is that just a word that was made up in the 80s? Because it sounds fucking cool. Oh, speaking of which, I used to tell you guys about that one sign in this town called Stoneham. Called Videotron. The video store's not there anymore, but the sign was for the longest time. It's gone now. In fact, they redid the building altogether. Altogether. Azrael, correct. That's right. That's right. Every good fucking bad guy had a kitty cat. I call it the Godfather effect. Honestly, it's probably exactly why. It like shows the bad guy as classy, you know? Wicked fucking classy. Come on, I want to get that one. The fuck? What's with the hit detection? Azrael. So Brian's Man Cave has been putting out a series of videos lately talking about costs of games and pirating and all kinds of stuff. And I watched this video this morning, and though it's not going to touch on, what I'm going to say is not going to really touch on a lot of what he was talking about. The title was called, Is Retro Games Still Profitable? Or something like that. And my answer to that question is an astounding absolutely. All you have to do is go to Gen X Grown Up, John, who is a Gen X Grown Up. And I hope you found something that you liked in that one video that you watched of his. He's a great guy. I love John. John's a really good dude. Just go to his channel and just scroll down the video list. And just see how many Pac-Man handheld things there are still being made today. And I'm telling you right now, companies aren't making these shits because they just feel like making a Pac-Man handheld again. They're making it because they know fucking a lot of these drooling fucking retro idiots will fucking buy it. Oh my god, it says Pac-Man, I'm going to put my money down on it. And it might have lessened up a little bit over time, but maybe I should do a whole video on it. Maybe I'll do a member-exclusive video on it. Maybe I'll do a member-exclusive video on the topic, but the short of that fucking, the answer of the title of the video anyway, is abso-fucking-lutely it's still profitable. For you? Me? Probably not. You know, I can sit there and try to sell. I got a whole bunch of stuff in my Etsy shop. Actually, a few things sold the other night. I was so happy about that. So there's less on there. I put something up, and it sold like within a couple of hours. It was crazy. I've never had that happen on Etsy, ever. But is retro still fucking profitable? Abso-fucking-lutely. So the people who can pump out thousands of fucking one thing, you know? Just Pac-Man alone. Oh no, I got bloated up. Fuck. Hold on, I'll read your comment here in a minute, Howard. Now, if you've never seen this game, it goes by a couple of different names. I can't remember what the alternative name is, but it's lower in the alphabet world. I think it begins with an A or something, or maybe this is Astro War. This is that one. It's just this offshoot game. It's basically Astro Smash or Astro Blast on the side. Not as difficult. Although Astro Smash isn't really all that difficult. Or, yeah, Astro Blast is tough as fuck. Wicked tough. Ramps up real fucking fast. Still one of my favorites on the system of all time. That one fucking game got me through a lot of bullshit, too. It's one of those games where you could just play and disappear, you know? Not in the same way that like an adventure game would help you disappear reality. I'm talking about like literally the world shuts off because everything's going so fucking insane. I had to do that regardless. I was going to die if he went by. So I might as well have the pleasure of kamikaze in his ass. Fuck, I didn't even see where that one was. But honestly, for guys like him who are just making games, yeah, absolutely. Oh, shit. Absolutely. It's tough to make money. It's going to start getting unfair now. That's what this game does. So I'm just going to kamikaze every fucking one I can't truly get to. But, you know, Brian makes some really fun shit. I got a couple of his games purchased and one that he gave me. I think he gave me Keystone Cops. What the fuck? See, it's all ships now. Makes it impossible. I think I'm done playing this anyway. I'll see it through. I'll see it through to the end, though. Oh, shit. He fucking likes to jump around, doesn't he? At this point, I'm just playing Millennium Falcon. But it's like every time Gen X Grown Up puts out a video of a new little handheld thing or a Pac-Man thing or whatever, I just have the same response, so I don't comment. And it's how many fucking times are we going to spend our money on this shit? How many? This is the NES Jason level. And I've said that for years. It's not a new fucking thing for me. I'm usually speaking of Nintendo when I'm talking about shit like that. Nintendo. How many times can you fucking put out Super Mario Brothers? Oh no! I didn't mean to do that. Stupid X. Oh, it's a never-ending game, man. Never-ending barrage of rocks and indescribable objects that kill you even if you just leave them alone. I will say, I do like the free range of movement you have with this game. I mean, you can only go this far forward, but you can fucking essentially go wherever the fuck you feel like it. Maybe this... Alright, hold on. Fuck! I didn't see that guy until he was past me. It's like they just fucking throw him in there. Yeah, like that. That's not cool. Because I just need to be a better judge of Yeah, you can't get down there fast enough. Alright, I'm tired of this game. I don't even know why this is the one that was up. I don't remember playing it. Alright, maybe there's a bunch of LSD cartoon ideas. Yeah, you know what? There's probably some fucking truth to that. There's probably some real truth to that. Let me find another game here. Atari VCS point of purchase ROM? Okay. All right, let's see what this is. You know, let me. It's probably just a logo, right? We're not going to be doing anything, are we? Let me get buttons. Oh, Atari Video Computer System. Very cool. Enter game number. Oh! I wonder if those games are in this little ROM thing. No, I guess not. And I can't seem to make anything work. That's kind of cool, though, huh? That was nice of them to include. Oh, let's see. Because I think the last time we played Atari games, we did the adult games. No, we're not doing that. You know what? Let's just play a relaxing game. Let's play Galaxian. I know I play that a lot. I apologize. I just need to find it. All right. We got this. There we go. There it is. We got this. Ah, you bitch. Oh, damn it. He thought he was going to get fucking tricky dicky with me there. Oh, my watch, sister. All right, that trick's not going to work. Hey, I left you alone, dude. Oh, man. But the short to that is, yes, retro is still profitable. Unless you're talking about niche, you know? Like stuff that Brian produces. I mean, not many people are going to have a way to play in television. Except for a handful of us, you know? But everybody has the ability to play a little handheld thing that just takes fucking batteries. And I think that's where the difference is. I don't know, maybe there isn't enough to talk about to make a fucking video, but, you know, if anyone wants me to make a video on that, even though Howard's the only one chatting right now, let me know somehow. Oh, just to let you guys know, I'm getting a really rad response to that short I put out there, asking for you guys' favorite play sets. A couple of you didn't watch the whole video because you literally answered or asked questions that were answered in that video, but I don't know why that bugs me so much. It's like I spent the time to fucking say the words. Can you at least give me the fucking few minutes to hear them? I don't think that's unfair. At least before you make comments. And that's how I get a lot of like bad comments, actually. In this case, I'm just trying to be a goof. But I guess my mood's not dictating that proper. Maybe I need to wake and bake today. I don't like doing that. I don't like starting my day off altered. In fact, I find in most cases, the rest of the day is just kind of, just want to fucking sleep all day. I don't really do indica too much. Unless I need to sleep, you know. If I'm in a lot of pain, I'll grab some indica. Some real strong shit to help me sleep, but... Oh my God, they're coming out of nowhere. And by nowhere, I mean like right above me, where I can see them. Where I know they exist. Oh, I really thought I was going to get that greenie. God damn. Come on, baby. There we go. I mean, look at what Atari did with the fucking the Plus consoles. They literally fucking released the exact same toy in two different shells. And even though one is slightly more capable, I believe the word I read this morning actually was whiskers. It's a whisker. It's a whisker more capable. Very clever adjectives, and if you're a viewer, bravo, I liked it. I like that description. Fuck. But again, if we're talking about niche products and stuff like that, and obviously not, but that shit's done for love. That shit is done for love. Passion. Oh! Oh, I didn't even, that was fucking weird. To me, anyway. I didn't even see myself over there. I don't know what the fuck I was looking at. Oh! I didn't mean to go that far. What a shitty run. What a shitty run. Oh, I get the X's are the spinner. Let's see. I keep thinking of the pull cord smash up derby cars. They came with a package of 3. Yeah. I remember those. There was a blue station. Well, you could get them in blue or red. But if you're talking about the ones I am, they're nondescript cars. But one was a station wagon. The other one was like a 4-door sedan. And they had parts that would come off and you'd clip them back together. If I remember correctly, there was a ramp that came with them or something, too. Hey, let me show you guys a project I'm making. I'm working on a real Hollywood movie. It's a real Hollywood movie. A buddy of mine over on TikTok is making a small independent sci-fi film. And there was discussions of making a small prop for him. So what I'm making is, it's like a communication device thing. I don't know. He says it's either going to be communication or it's going to be used to go jump between times or portals or some stupid shit like that. So this doesn't work anymore, and I've been wanting to make something of it. So we're going to have lights behind this. I'm going to cut this pillar off, and I'm going to clean this up, and I'm going to put a filter, or I should say a gel over it. Put a light behind it. I get a couple of Dollar Tree lights. This is going to have a light that kind of pulses and in and out, in and out, in and out. And then just a bunch of shit up here, and maybe a flippy doodad over here, so in the movie he can go, beam me up, fuckface. I don't want to be here with these aliens anymore. They look differently to me, so I have to hate them. You know, whatever the case may be. I don't even know what it's called. I don't know what the premise is. All I know is he made a head in a jar, a robot head in a jar that reminds me of, in Futurama, what is the name of that? The robot with the big round eyes and the cylindrical head? Looks a lot like that fucking dude. Looks a lot like that, dude. Pull cord smash up derbies. I think they came out. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I don't remember the brand name. I think it was one of those Japanese brands. Like there was this one Japanese brand. I think it began with an N, and they made these little race tracks that had cars and/or motorcycles that basically were a big ball bearing or a marble with a little bit of a plastic shape around it. I think it was made by one of those companies. Oh, what is the name of those? One of those toys that our friends had and I had. God, I can still remember opening mine when I was little. Because of the way the box was, it was like it covered the bottom, the back, and the sides, but not the face of it, except for like maybe an inch or two up from the bottom. So it was like this big open space with the product inside. So if you touch the item with the wrapping paper on it, it would it would easily puncture a hole in the front. And I remember it did that. I tried, even as a little kid. I liked to be surprised. So I tried my best not to even fucking look at it. In fact, I asked my mom for tape once to tape it back up. She's like, just don't look at it. Leave it alone. I remember opening it up and going, fuck yeah. Probably not exactly that, but fuck you. Oh, that white dude. There was no way I wasn't going to get him. Pissed me off like that. Oh, fuck you. Your sister's a cunt. Or in the words of Junior Soprano, your sister's cunt. What a fucking piece of shit that guy was. A piece of shit. Damn it, your timing's got to be just right. Fuck! I think I will. I think I'll do that. I think I'll make that video today. Go for a walk or something. We'll talk about it. Fuck, we're going to get so much snow tonight. Tomorrow night. We got a little dusting last night. It was actually really pretty. It was like the real thick, ploppy fucking flakes. My favorite. Beautiful. Fuck. I swear they do that to tempt me. Because it knows I like to get the groups. And when the fucking the trilogy of terror come down, if I don't get all three of them, I do not feel fulfilled. Did you see that one dude? He started to come down, but then fucking went back into formation. He was like, nah, I'm good. Like he found out that it was John Wick who he was about to attack. I watched that the other day again, and I love that first one. The rest of them are okay. I've never seen the fourth one. I don't even know if it's worth it. Maybe it is. Halle Berry being in the third one, though, she's hot. She'll always be hot. Even long dead, a corpse, as a corpse. Bet you Halle Berry will be dug up in 10,000 years, and everyone will be like, wow, smoke show. I just love that fucking movie. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of male bravado. I'm dead. Fuck. I got locked onto the white dude. I forgot all about the red one. It just it's what you did that just upsets me so. It's who you did it to. He's like, who the fucking nobody? You know what? I know the kid was shown to be fucking arrogant, but when the dude fucking clapped back in Russian, with that much seriousness, he probably should have put two and two together and said, all right, this guy probably isn't someone to fucking play with. Still showed a little face, just like his dad did when he called John, knowing that it wasn't going to do any good. But he still had to, he still had to show he had balls. It's called the heart test. You used to see that shit in prison all the time. Ooh, if you failed the heart test, you were, I don't care if you were just there for a weekend. It felt like a scream of a fucking sentence. He's like, nah, that fucking dude's John Wick, kid. You have no idea what you fucking just did. No idea. All right, one more round. I once saw him kill 3 men in a bar with a pencil. I love the way he says it. A pencil. Boyega. He wasn't exactly the boogeyman. He was who you sent to kill the fucking boogeyman. And my son, 2 days after his wife dies, steals his car and kills his fucking dog. That would be my kid. You know what I mean? I would have this huge criminal empire. Strongest human being on the planet. You know what I mean? And my kid would do something stupid like that. Would I protect my kid after that? I don't know. I got to think about it like a criminal, not like, me. Not like Chris. Because obviously Chris would. Chris would absolutely make sure his kid was fine. But if I was a criminal fucking, I got greedy. I was going to go after him. I don't know. Let's, I never swatched the screen over, did I? Fuck. I apologize. We're playing Galaxian still. Guys, I swear to God, I got 500 million points. Oh my God. 500 million points. Could you at least hear the game? Okay, yeah, look at that. What you playing? It took me a minute. My apologies. You know what it was? Is I was going to stop playing. And my brain just never fucking swapped it back. I am sorry. No, you know what? No, I'm not fucking sorry. That's just how it goes here. I just have to accept it. Let go. Let God. You know what I mean? But if I had this giant criminal empire and my kid just did something stupid like that, I don't know. I might just fucking deliver his ass. I'm a big fan of fucking, and you didn't ask these girls, accountability. Big fan of it. Big fan. Do I see Megan? What's up, Megan? Oh, come on. There's no way that didn't double tap. Fucking assholes. What the fuck? My aim is off, like, in the bathroom at 3 in the fucking morning. Oh, fuck! Come on, prick. Come on, prick! Just a few days after his wife dies, you steal his car and kill his fucking dog. I don't know. I have to admit, the dog he gets in two, the pit, better dog. I'm not into like pit bulls and all that shit. Like, and I shouldn't say I'm not into pits because I think they're cute as fuck. I've never really been into short-nosed dogs, stout-nosed dogs, except for like pugs. I love pugs. Always wanted to have my own pug named Mr. Wiggles. I had a pug for a couple of days. I used to work at a place called Pete and Max Pet Resort. Believe it or not. I had some extra time on my hands. It was just down the street. I like dogs. I took a job there, and I looked out of place. Abso-fucking-lutely. And the dude even said it in the interview. He's like, I can't even legally say this, but I'm going to because I feel like you're a real dude. And that you're not going to get all butthurt about it. But, I mean, you're a dude. You're a grown dude. And you're going to be working with mostly young girls. And I'm like, no, I'm going to be working with dogs. Fuck the girls. I don't give a shit about them. It's all right. Oh, fucking hell. I didn't even go left. Well, evidently I fucking did, but... Wow, we're not doing well at all. There we go. Fuck you. How do you like that? How do you like that? Dick face. Christine reference. But, hold on. There was these 3 pugs when I first started working there. And how they came to be is it was through an estate. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. My hand just fucking twitched. I gotta move that button. I really do. That happens a lot now. Where this old lady had 3 pugs, a German Shepherd, and 2 cats. And she passed away. So it was in the estate. I mean, she had money. That the animals would be cared for at the pet resort. And it was a pet resort. It was fucking disgusting, the money that people would drop on these animals. I love dogs. I love animals. And I believe that if you are going to take them into your home, you better not only be an expert at caring for them. I don't mean medically. But you better be on it. You chose to take that life into your home. Like I have I got the ball python, which is typically not your average pet, right? But I chose to fucking house that thing in my home instead of allowing it to be... And it was probably bred... I know, so don't give me that argument, but... I mean, the ball python doesn't know it's a domesticated animal. It's a fucking snake. It honestly always thinks it's out in the wild. It doesn't know fucking the difference between me owning it and it being out in the wild. But you gotta care for it. But, I mean, these fucking cats would rent rooms that had TVs in them. And I say room, they were like just fancy cat. I'm dead. Oh, maybe not. Fuck you, I'm getting this guy. No, I guess I'm not. But like Animal Planet would be playing on it? No joke. I'm not even fucking kidding. But there was those 3 pugs, 2 females and a male. And one day the 2 females disappeared. No, the male left for a doctor's appointment, a vet appointment. And when he was gone, the 2 females were taken by a family member, but he was left behind. His name was Capone. Fit his personality to the T. And I got a really cool picture of him and I. But he got back, right? And then when he realized after maybe like an hour or so that his sisters weren't returning, he went into a complete depression. The noises that this fucking poor dog made, the crying and the ah! So one day I just said, fuck it. I took him out of the thing and I let him run around with me while I was doing my daily chores, cleaning this, cleaning that, you know. He wasn't allowed out in the play area because he wasn't fixed. I think the females were, but he was still intact, and that was one of the rules that unaltered dogs can't be with altered dogs because of something to do with aggression and natural this or that, whatever the fuck. So this poor fucking dude lost his only fucking friends. And he realized it. I bet you he fucking realized it. So Capone became one of my best friends. Every night he looked forward to me coming in. And he would walk around with me while I fed the other dogs. And you know, obviously there was dogs I knew that were reactive to other animals. I wouldn't have him near it. I would leash him up and tie him off somewhere. But he did. He ran around with me when I was outside cleaning the kennels after they got done using them, or the play runs, they called them. It was actually pretty cool. They had a really high-tech system. It was like AstroTurf built on top of like a drainage system. Like the entire thing was like just honeycomb great. I mean, you couldn't fall through it. You couldn't get your paws through it, obviously. Or else it wouldn't have fucking been beneficial for them. But it was a matter of just a hose and a couple chemicals to sanitize it and maybe make it smell nice. And so he would be out with me doing that all night long. After everything was settling down, I would let Capone come out. In the last 3 or 4 hours of my shift, we would just fucking hang out all day. All fucking day long. And then one day, I said, you know what? I'm just going to take this fucking dude home. He's just going to come with me. So I went up to my boss, this fucking douchebag named Steven. Young kid too. I had to teach him a few things about being in leadership. I remember once he called me because he didn't get me on the first call. He said, you know, the guy that writes off on your paycheck? So I was like, hey, listen here, kid. I don't give a fuck who you think you are. Not with me, kid. We're not playing that game. All right, let's get rid of the game. He calls me at home. I asked to adopt the thing, and he said he had to go through some channels and all kinds of stuff. And at the end of the day, it turned out that family are thinking about taking him. And then I had surgery. My appendix almost ruptured. And I was out for like 2 weeks. It was fucking horrible. But I ended up having it removed. And I got a call, just before I actually went in. And he's like, I know you're about to go into surgery and everything. You're in a lot of pain. He goes, but I can't not tell you. I'm like, what? Capone was taken by family members. So when you get back, unfortunately, he's not going to be here. So I'm like, okay, so now I'm nervous about going into surgery, and I'm fucking sad that my best buddy's not going to be at work. Thanks, you fuck. And I hung up on him. I fucking hung up. I'm like, thanks, you fuck. And I hung up. I went through surgery, spent the day in the hospital, went home, loaded up on fucking perks. You could judge me all you want on this one. I do apologize for it. It's out of my norm. But I got a call at home. Again, all jacked up on perks. The family dog Capone was going to be a puppy. They don't want him anymore. First of all, I'm like, that's fucked up. Do you still want him? I said, abso-fucking-lutely. He says, all right, here's their address if you want to go get him. I'm like, now? He goes, there's no better time than now. Or else they're going to just find somebody else. But I'm pushing for you. I'm pushing for you, and I got them to hold him for the day. My girlfriend at the time didn't drive. She was too afraid to. I got her a permit and everything, and then she would get mad for me pushing her. I'm just like, you know what? You need to be an adult at some point. So even though I was up on my fucking perk, I mean, I wasn't too banged up. But banged up enough to where I probably shouldn't have driven there. But that's how excited I was. That's how excited. And, you know, thank Jesus himself for everybody's safety. Fuck my safety. Here I am in my 1972 Ford Econoline, cruising around like that. I still got a picture of that. And I went to these people's houses, and I was like, yeah, I just came out of surgery. And they're like, why the fuck aren't you in bed? I'm like, I want Capone. And there's a really nice picture. Of him and I. I'm not going to try to find it, because it'll take me forever. Of me all fucked up on the perks and holding him and his tongue sticking out and all happy. And I had him for a couple of days. And my girlfriend's uncle came over, a really nice guy. And he's like, oh my God, what a cool fucking dog. And they started really bonding. And I already had a dog. We already had like a shepherd mix named Zombie. Her kid named him. I would, I'm into zombies and shit, so, long before it became a fucking popular thing again. Where is that one folder? And he was like, what are you doing with them? I said, I don't know. I was just sad he was gone, so I went and grabbed him. I guess he's going to live here. He'll come to work with me every day. And he said, would you mind if I adopted him? You can see him anytime you want. I'm like, what? He's like, I don't know. I get this vibe from this fucking dog. And you could clearly see that they were a match. And I said, you know what? Capone's yours. Go ahead and take Capone. And Capone went with him. He was like a scientist guy. He did a lot of like chemical engineers and stuff. Smart people shit. But he'd go with him to work every day. Hang out in his office. He had like his own like little corner. He had a dog house and a bed and a whole little area. And Capone lived out the rest of his days like a king. And I got to see him once in a while, and he would remember me. And yeah, there we go. There's Creep from way back when with his old fucking Econoline. I miss that fucking van so much. I got that thing for $500, sitting in some dude's fucking backyard. Here we go. Oh, here it is parked behind my old work when I worked there. I got the body straight like that with the primer and everything. And take a break from some games. I'm not signing out or anything. And I'll get to the chat here in a second. But I bought that thing for $500. Hadn't even been started in 10 years, so we literally dragged it. My buddy hooked it up to his pickup truck, and we just drove it home. I'm all like, no power steering, nothing, No, it did have power steering. I lie. But it didn't because of, the thing wasn't on. I ended up replacing the power steering box on it, which was a pain in the ass. But it didn't take me about 3 weeks to get it not only running, but through smog in Arizona. Wonderful van. I kind of got fucked out of it. I came back here. I was going to set up a thing, and I told my girlfriend, I'm like, all right, I signed the title. It's in my drawer. Sell it because I need money to finish getting things going here. Never happened. It got sold, I'll tell you that. All right, so back to the chat. Megan, how are you? I'm sorry it took me so long to say hi. I was making a joke earlier that I said, ladies and gentlemen or something like that. I'm like, well, I'm lucky if I get two women in here. You and Linda, the game. She calls herself the gamer gal now, but the gamer gal. What you playing, Creep? Yeah, I know. You're just going to have to get over it because that's what I do every fucking stream. At least once, I'm sure. It's part of the charm of the Retro Creep. If anyone noticed, I went to my Facebook page and I changed the images, to these logos these logos. These logos. And I went to change the name, but I don't remember my password to YouTube, so I'm going to have to figure that out to change the actual name. I may start using it again. I initially went in there to delete it. But I said, I don't have my password, so let me change things around, but it won't let me change the name. So everything on there now says Retro Creep except for the name of the page. So I may or may not go back over there. And there was a whole bunch of notifications I didn't even fucking look at. I was just like, I haven't been in here in like fucking years. I mean, I snuck in once in a while to do a thing here and there, but overall, it's been a long time. It turned into a regular fucking Facebook account. It's no longer like a page or a group. It's like another account. And I'm just like, I don't even like the one I have for me. Never mind any of that. Let's see. I had Pitt and the Roulette at the same time. They're such good dogs. In a Roddy, I'm sorry. There's a blob of resin. I'm done telling that story. I had a Pit and a Roddy at the same time. Such good dogs. Pitty's name was Percy, and the Roddy's name was Roxy. Ah, that's wonderful. I love Pitty's. There's that one famous video that goes around every now and again of a small, and I'm just going to say he's a Chinese kid. He may not be, I don't know. I'm not trying to be ignorant, but I don't know. With this tiny, like real short pit bull, but wicked wide with the big fucking head and the most giantest smile ever. Let me see if I can find it. If I were to get a Pitty, I would absolutely want that one. Yeah, this guy. Oh my god. Oh my god, I would fucking murder every fucking one of you in the chat right now to have him. Look at him. Look at that dude. Fuck yeah. That's a Muggsy. That dude's name would be Muggsy. I would call him Muggsy. That's awesome. That's awesome. Just woke up. Nice. Yeah, I'm still not awake yet, Megan. Cold heat. What's going on? How are you? I am very well, thank you. It took me a little bit to get to you. I hope you're still here. And if not, if you come back, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for popping in and at least saying hello. Nice van, thank you. It 302. It did have straight pipes going to the back, and it had glass packs on it. So every now and again, I'd go under a bridge and I'd just goose the gas a little bit to feel like a fucking man. I did. I would do that. Let's see. Dan Monk says, do you have the "If the Van is Rockin' bumper sticker? I did not. I was part of van culture for a long time before it became what it is now. I'm talking about the 2%ers kind of guys. There was like a very small pocket of us still doing the 70s van thing, you know. And there were some things that, like, true vanners. I'm not talking about these fucking people who have some money, who buy a Sprint van and basically turn it into a luxury apartment, or even ones that don't even go that far and just kind of van life it. That's a little closer to what I would do, but it was more about the customization of it and, you know, showing off, being like, wow, that's pretty cool. And of course, mine would have had a 2600 in there somewhere, but we didn't get that far. So there are some things in that culture that we fucking can't stand. And it's that expression because it's just so old. It's not that we can't stand it, but it's kind of like, you know, when you come into certain groups and say, E.T.'s the worst game of all time. Like, get out of here, you fucking noob. Get the fuck out of here. That kind of a thing. So, no, I never had that sticker. Calling it a Scooby van or an A-Team van, those are big no-nos to guys that are 2%ers. And no one's truly going to get mad or anything. It's not like you're going to get beat up or like it's a serious infraction. But, like, as a whole, whenever we would, hear someone go, oh, Scooby van, man, or they, I would get, like, pictures of Scooby vans all the time from my friends and family. And I know they meant well. I know they were like, they saw something, they thought of me, and I took it as that in an appreciative kind of situation that they thought of me. They could have just ignored me for the day, but they saw something. It made them think of me, and they were hoping to make me smile with the picture. Or they knew it would piss me off. Either way, I don't know. But no rocking in the back sticker, but there was rocking in the back. I will give you that. The van I had before that was an 87 Dodge. And it was what they call a maxi van, which means they took like a quarter of another van and bolted it to the back of it. It was a fucking beast. And it had two bench seats in the back. One normal, like when you go into the back van, you're looking at it this way. And the other one was flat against the driver's wall behind the driver's seat. And that was like a regular van seat plus half of another one. So there was like these two really long, it was almost like a limo setup, but they were individual, it wasn't like in a hook. And they would both flatten out, and the entire long van would just be one long bed. It was such a nice van, but what happened was because it was so long, the drive shaft, what they do is they eventually start bowing, And as they spin while you're driving, the whole fucking van does it. I mean, it's not dangerous or anything. It could be. It could eventually tear, the transmission or something or the rear end. But I went to have some guy fix it, and he offered me money for it. He's like, you know what? You have a parasitic drain on your battery, which was true. I couldn't figure that out either. He goes, and you have this issue. It's going to cost you probably double what the van's worth. And I love this van. And since I'm the one who's going to work on it, it won't cost me that much to work on it. I just need to get the parts. So I'm going to leave it up to you. You can spend this much, I'll fix it, and you can have it next week. Or let me give you X amount of dollars, and let me take this van. This van's awesome. And I was like, oh, because it was in wicked nice shape all the way around. Almost showroom condition. Almost. And I said, you know what? I got the Grand Marquis. I had a 91 Grand Marquis named Frankenbitch. That fucking thing, I paid $100 for it. I replaced one vacuum hose. It did plugs and wires, new tires. And that thing, I bet you that thing's still on the road today. I bet you it's still fucking running. That thing gave me zero issues. Now, there was nothing in it that worked that I wanted to work, like the radio. Well, the radio got stolen. Like the heat didn't work. I didn't have AC. But everything that needed to work worked. It's a fucking wonderful car. It was comfortable, and it just was bulletproof. It would not die. Those transitional year fucking 5.0s, when they were still 5.0s and not 4.6s, 302s, bulletproof engines. Transmission, on the other hand, another story. What's up, kiddo?
Are you talking to your friends today?
Yeah, what's up?
Hi, friends.
The younger of the two says, hi, friends.
When is it going to be summer?
It's going to be summer when winter's over. And then we got to go through this little thing called spring. Allergies, man. Fucking allergies are coming. Do you really want to go through allergies to get to summer?
Yeah.
Why don't we just hold off in summer? I don't mind. I mean, I hate the fucking snow, but... Well, I love snow, by the way. I love snow. But the fact that by the end of this weekend, we will have had maybe 4 feet total this winter. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah.
We've had dusting, then we got a heck ton, then like another inch.
Yeah.
And then this is like another 10 inches.
Yeah.
That's coming our way.
Big 10-inch record.
So about 3 feet of snow.
Cheers. We're talking about cars and vans and dogs now, so.
What type of dog would you want?
We were just talking about, that one dog, that little pit bull with the Chinese kid at the shelter?
I think so, yeah.
The dog's like real stout and he's got the biggest smile.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that cat. And I got a lady in here named Megatron, and she was telling me, reminiscent about a Pity and a Roddy that she had for a little while together. Yeah. All right, let me get back to this. This is fucking rude. All right, this is rude.
Sorry, friends.
She said, sorry, friends. Well, I'm the one who didn't tell you to fuck off, so.
Do you want anything for lunch?
For lunch? Yeah. I want a cheesesteak with extra cheese and hops. Fuck yeah. I know you said fuck that. I said fuck yeah. Make it happen. Okay. Quite all right, Creep. I'm still waking up. Just grabbed coffee. I got to actually refill mine here in a second. There's a girl that does shorts on Facebook, maybe TikTok. Her miniature Pity. And he talks so cute. Are they the ones that like they're in the car and she'll just be like, so what do you, and she doesn't even get the sentence out and he's like, and just keeps going and going and going. That's cute for about 30 seconds to me. And then it's like, shut up! But yeah, so I ended up selling that van, and a few years later I ended up getting that 70, I think it was a 72. It was either a 72 or a 73. I'm pretty sure it was a 72. Either way, it was second generation. What they call the mid-years. I learned that one from Dimebag. Hold on. little finger job in there. He was a big Eddie Van Halen fan. Big Eddie Van Halen fan. I need fucking strap locks bad. What I need to do is get a fucking handful of those. DiMaggio makes a strap that you screw into the guitar through the strap buttons, and there's like a separating clip like right here. I need to get a bunch of those for all my guitars, because that way you can just have one strap and just clip. I mean, it comes with the strap too, so it's hilarious, right?
Cheese tax?
Oh, cheese tax. The cheese tax.
I made myself a cheese sandwich and got myself a cheese tax.
Oh my god, how much cheese is left?
4 slices.
Okay, so there's a few slices for lunch. Okay. I might make myself a bag. Alright, bye.
Bye. I'm gonna learn more about the MBTA.
Alright, go learn more about the MBTA. Why don't you get a job with the MBTA?
I said you did something about that the other day.
I know. You should get a job with the MBTA. You would get into like choo-choos and shit, yo.
Yeah. Once I get friends,
Yeah. It's a good kid there. This is fucking fake noodling. There was I had a roommate, this vegan chick, who I used to work with at the pet resort, Pete and Max Pet Resort in Avondale, Arizona. I don't know if they're still around anymore or not, but she was like a behaviorist or something like that for dogs. She, trainer. Shut your face. But she fostered a few dogs. And I ended up rooming with her for a little bit. I rented a room from her. And I became the guy who actually ended up taking care of the dogs and shit. And it kind of took away from some of the rent, which was awesome. I got to hang out with dogs. And she had this one pitty named Frito. Like the Frito chips. Frito pie! That's what I want for lunch. Go get me some Frito, some chili, and some cheddar cheese. Sharp cheddar cheese. Some onions. She's got her headphones on. She can't hear me now. Ark, what's going on, man? But she had a really nice. He was a big guy too, but he was one of those ones that were like, like the tan with the almost like shepherd nose with the little bit of black in the eye, mascara. Beautiful dog. Didn't give a fuck about anything though. I mean, you could say no all day long. He would literally look at you with that "go fuck yourself" look in his eyes. He was a mischievous little prick. And she was just like, oh, he should be your dog. I'm like, no. I have patience, but I don't have patience for Frito. But Frito was really fun. He was really fun. But he was very spiteful, too. He would do shit like shit in his crate on purpose. And I swear to God, when I was cleaning it, he would be fucking laughing. Guess I'm in a 60s kind of mood today. Playing a fucking super strat from the 80s. Oh my God. Doing fine, man. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. Thanks for popping in. I'm going to take a moment here, guys, to go refresh my cup of coffee, and we'll continue to hang out. I'll just put the guitar down right here. In fact, so you're not bored, I'll turn it up and just... There you go. Listen to that. Just listen to the sustain. Well, if it were playing, you'd hear it. I still haven't seen Spinal Tap 2 yet. I gotta pirate that shit. Well, if it were playing, you'd hear it. That would still get the tagger on it. Never even touched it. No, he's like, I've never even played it. Don't point at it. Don't even look at it. There really are guitar guys like that. Really are, man. I'm like that to a degree. But oh my God. Remember I was telling you about that one girlfriend that I was with when I was working at the pet resort. She didn't have her license or anything like that. But when she first moved in with me, I just bought a brand new fucking Ibanez. This fucking gorgeous neck through EMG 8160 set, fucking 8185 actually. Ebony board, no inlays, sexy, sleek, stealth, and it played like shit. But it was my brand new toy. I had just gotten a $10,000 check from the state. I took out some of my retirement to buy into a sandwich shop eventually. And I kept 10 grand of it. Gave the other guy 40. And I bought that, and I bought this little Marshall amp, little 212 cabinet kind of situation. And I woke up early in the morning, and this kid had gotten up earlier than me, and he was dragging it he had this in his hand, and the rest of it was on the ground, and he was just like dragging it around the fucking apartment. And I went into the bedroom. I'm like, look, you know, your kid's cool and all that, and I would never be violent towards him. But he's fucking dragging my brand new guitar around the goddamn apartment. Go do something. She was like, oh, she was scared. And I mean, I wasn't that mean about it. I was just like, what do I do? It's your kid. I can't really, you know. I would have felt bad yelling at him at the time. But after a while, I started yelling at him for stuff. It became common. Became his dad. Oh, well. I've been craving Ibanez lately. I've been craving Ibanez guitars lately. I don't know why. I got a set of these Dragonfire pickups that are basically DP 101s or DP 100s. DiMaggio Super Distortion or ST 100s. I forget what they're called, but they're basically copies of the Super Distortion by DiMaggio. Wow, I can't wake up today, guys. I fucking genuinely apologize for my lack of enthusiasms. But I want to put those in something, and I have what they call a super switch. It's a 5-way blade switch, but then you push it down, and there's another 5-way blade switch. So now you can just do common, you know, cool wiring, and then you could go into another possibility of fucking realm. So if you have an HSH setup, you just do your typical, you know, bridge, middle, bridge and middle. Fuck you. I'll just do it this way. You know, position 1 will be here, position 2 will be here, position 3 will be here, 4 and 5. You get the idea. But then when you click it downward, you could do it again. So now I can have this coil with this guy, this coil with this guy, these two coils, these two, you know, infinite, in phase, out of phase, coil taps, coil splits. You can do all kinds of really cool shit. I really want to, you know, do that. I want to do that. Let's see. Megan says, Crip, what do you think of the new Megadeth album and their cover of Ride the Lightning? Oh my God. Oh, I almost did a video. on that. It's not a bad album. I mean, the music's not bad. I don't know. I think it's meh. I don't think it's a good send-off. I don't think it's a grand finale. It sounds generic. Is that a good phrase? And I think it's because it's not like a studio album. No one really does studio albums anymore, and you can tell that in the production of it. It definitely feels like a fan-made album with really good equipment. And his version of Ride the Lightning, is intermittently amazing. But there are some parts of it just sound so, like when he's like, I don't want to die. It just sounds dumb. It sounds dumb. But there are guitar parts I think sound better than the original. So it's really a mixed bag with the Ride of the Lightning cover. I think it's a wonderful return. You know, the whole circle coming back to the beginning. I really wish Metallica and him would be able to... You know, the Big Four was cool. You heard about the behind-the-scenes crap. But whenever you watch, like, the Big Four DVD, which I don't think I have anymore. I think it got stolen. When all the bands are up there playing, Dave's right there with James. And you could tell Dave, with all his arrogance, looks up to James. Even though he taught James a lot. You know, James, by all accounts, wasn't a great guitar player. He just was very good at what he played, if that makes sense. Same with Kurt, fucking Laz. Laz is a trash drummer. And they'll all admit it. But for some reason, in that mix, he does his thing. But whenever you watch them two playing together on that DVD or Blu-ray, or however you're going to view it, James is just doing his thing, right? But if you look at Dave, he just has this look on his face like the happiest kid on the planet. And it makes you feel bad for him. Makes you feel bad for him a little bit. I don't feel bad for him. I think things went the way they had to go, or they wouldn't have gone the way they went. You know what I mean? If they didn't kick out him, they didn't bring in Kirk, and if Cliff hadn't passed away, I don't think they would have gotten as big as they did. But unfortunately, because they got as big as they did, they went down avenues that I just couldn't follow anymore, and they were my favorite band. Like, I looked up to them a lot, Metallica. And once after the Black Album, I did like the first Load album, hated the second one except for a few songs. And anything after that just seems kind of like, to me. You know, I can't get excited anymore. I can't get excited about it anymore. But to hear Mustaine playing and singing a song that he pretty much wrote, that he wasn't able to, do anything with in the past, was nice. There are parts of it that sound fucking dreadful. But there are also parts of it that sound 10 times better than Metallica's recording of it. But like any other cover, it's its own thing. So you can't really... You can compare it. It's fair to compare it to the original. But it's another artist playing it. So you got to also judge it on its own thing. Like, how does it compare to the original? And how does it compare to that artist's catalog, you know? And in the large scheme of things, considering everything Megadeth has put together, I think it's a fairly well recorded song. I hope that makes sense. It's intermittently amazing, but also intermittently trash. It's a weird mixed bag. But I listened to it like fucking 20 times in the first 24 hours it was released. I even put it on my Facebook, all excited about it. I was never Team Megadeth, but I respect Dave. I don't know. I don't like arrogance. I don't like pricks. So it's like watching him up there going, oh, what a fucking peckerwood. You know, all those things. I bet you're never going to get laid. You know. Dave, just play the fucking music, dude. What do you care about what the crowd says? You're going to be leaving town in about 20 minutes after you're done playing. And you're going to be making $1 gajillion. So what? They made fun of you. They threw something at you. Get the fuck out of here. But he couldn't let it go. And you know what? Parts of me can't blame him. Because look at what Metallica did. But Dave is one of those people, like, you'll see those videos of the two dogs eating, and the dog over here is more concerned about this bowl than he is the one literally right in front of him that has the exact same food in it. You know? That's Dave Mustaine to me. He kept looking over at the Metallica camp and not realizing that Rust in Peace is probably in the top 10 greatest metal albums, if not the top 5 of all fucking time. Some of the greatest riffs in metal history came out of that album. J-Rob, what's going on? I heard Cape Cod got a ton of snow. We're all getting it, dude. We are all getting snow. In fact, we're going to be getting another 10 inches Sunday night. Fucking crazy, man. But that's what it's like living here, you know, New England, man. Love it, love it. I have had days like that. Yeah, you know. What you thinking about the red special? The pickup set. I don't know. Tell me more about what the red special pickup set is, Howard. It's not coming to mind, and if I recall it, I'll apologize for not remembering. The red special. Yeah, tell me more. Tell me more, and then I could probably give you a little bit more of a whatever. Yeah, I agree. It does sound a little generic. It really does, and I don't think it has anything to do with his abilities. I think it's just a recording style now. Because you're allowed to do it at home, and I think doing it all digitally kills some of the soul of a music. You know, I'm not going to sit there and tell you, you know, it's wrong to record digitally, but analog, there's a warmth to it, there's a feel to it, there's a soul to it. And I believe analog should still be somewhere in the cogs with a lot of these things, you know? Digital is convenient, it's cheap compared to fucking magnetic tape. But you lose so much as a result. And then you can digitally kind of put the analog into it. Almost like, you know, scale lines and shit when you're playing your emulators. Why do they say it like that? But I just don't feel like it has the same quality. You know, playing the games like I was a few minutes ago, it's not the same. It's not the same. And I'm not talking about because I don't have the hardware, and I'm not hearing the cartridge, and I'm not flipping the switches, and I don't have a proper joystick. That all plays into it, absolutely. But there's a warmth to the TV. There's a warmth to how the TV projects the images on the screen. And the sounds have a very particular flavor to them. And, of course, you know, there's the shape of the TV and everything. You know, I mean, I know we all ended up on Trinitrons eventually. And I got a nice giant one in the other room that I never fucking use. So if there's anyone local and you want a giant Trinitron, as long as you help me get it down the stairs, I'm on the second floor. It's all yours. It's all yours. Works great. Looks great. Sounds great. Come fucking take it off my hands. I don't want it here anymore. But, yeah, I think there's just something with digital recording. It's convenient. It's cheap. Anyone can record a quality album now from their fucking home if they have minimal equipment. Except for me. I don't have any equipment. I want to record music so bad. I focus my money elsewhere. But yeah, I think things just sound so generic now. But that's all right though. You know, he made a name for himself. He's in the books. And, you know, God bless Megadeth and Dave Mustaine. You know, God bless their goods, their bads. Same with any group, you know. Lars is no Neil Peart, that's for sure. Well, Lars is still here. I know what you meant, but I had to make that joke. I apologize. I don't. It was fucking funny. At least up here it was. In here it was, too. Anything after the Black Album I did not like. There were little intermittent things I liked here and there. Like Fuel is a great song. S&M was a little weird. That was a little too gimmicky, you know, and I think it came out a little too late. If it had happened a little sooner, it would have been more, oh my God, Metallica's playing with the symphony orchestra? But we had just gotten done with Load and Reload and all this stuff, and yeah, I don't know. I love Brian May's guitar. Sorry, Creep. I love Brian May's guitar. What are you talking about? The Red Special? Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yes! I don't know why I was thinking just a pickup set. I know there is a pickup set. I love Brian May's Red Special. And I actually had this, and we'll talk about it here in a second. Let me write it down so I don't forget. I always do that. Hold on. Kilmer's Black, Strat, Red Special. Okay, I'll explain that in a few seconds. Yeah, I love it. I think it's awesome. I love seeing the ones that he had made specifically for his musician friends because they're just gorgeous, gorgeous pieces of art. Amazing stuff. What's up, Bears fan? I apologize. I'm finally starting to catch up on the chat. If you guys have been here for a while and I haven't said hi yet, please accept my sincerest apologies. There be no Megadeth. I dig Megadeth. I love Megadeth. I think Megadeth needs to have happened. Anything after the Black Album? Cape Cod's getting snow. Megan says, shocks me Metallica even let them use Ride the Lightning for this album. You know what? I think at this point, if you look at James now, he's not the same James. I'm sure creatively he is, because he's a very controlling guy. I'm not surprised. I'm genuinely not surprised because it's making them money. It's like John Carpenter said, whenever they remake Halloween, I just hold my hand out and a check floats into it. Because I don't mind. They can make all the ones they want. I do this, and a check just comes into my hand. So I think Metallica's at the point where it's just about money, Not that they haven't been for a long time. Napster, bad. That was good times, my man. Good times. But, it doesn't surprise me at all. In fact, it elates me. I was so happy when I heard that was happening. And I really thought Dave was going to take it to the nth degree of being a prick about it, I wrote the fucking thing. And he does mention, he's like, it's nice I finally got to record a song that I wrote, but he's not being a dick about it. He's actually being joyful about it and appreciative of it. And he's trying to get Metallica and him to do something, whether it be maybe a split set, the show with like Kirk, and then for the second half of the show, maybe he comes out and Kirk fucks off, and they play nothing but the early stuff that he was involved in, even to Master of Puppets, There's a few things that he still should be credited for on Master of Puppets, but lingering ideas from old recordings and old 4-tracks and stuff like that. J-Rob says, yeah, the new Megadeth album is pretty solid. I never cared for The War. One of my friends gave me a hard time for being a Megadeth fan. I never got into The War either. They're two separate entities. Sure, they used to be bandmates. I never looked at it as a rivalry, especially since Metallica literally took the world and put it in their hands, And Megadeth continued using heroin. Everyone has a path they got to take. But people are like, oh, what team are you on? I'm on the team of music, kid. That's what I am. I'm on the team of music. I love Megadeth. Unpopular opinion, I choose Megadeth over Metallica all day. That's cool. That's awesome. I love Brian May's guitar, sorry. The Brian May guitar. Yes. Emulated music, yeah. That makes sense. They use RetroArch to record. I still can't figure out RetroArch. It says, that's how I felt about the Chinese Democracy album, GNF. Should do a live version of that album. I just want to... Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. Howard, I actually do like... Wow, you guys are really into this, huh? But I also like Velvet Revolver. I had no problem with Velvet Revolver either. That's cool. J-Rob says, to me, the bigger problem isn't digital versus analog. It's how albums from the past 15 to 20 years have no dynamic range. Even instruments and vocals set to the exact same volume. Not a huge fan. Yeah, that's definitely a big part of it. But I think there is something to be said about the analog versus digital. Analog just seems to have a nice warmer, I call it garage band. Ugh. I don't remember how to play any of that. All right, so going back to Brian May's guitar, Warmouth came out, and they were like, this is like 3 or 4 years ago, and they're like, I want you to take the parts that we sell and build the craziest guitar with it, and the winner will get that guitar built. So I said, what if we took an off, a Mustang style body, or even a Jaguar body, excuse me, put a telly neck on it, put 3 white strap pickups on a solid black pickguard, but have the Brian May 6-switch setup. So it'll be like the Blackie Strat made out of a Jaguar telly with the Brian May style electronics in it. But the pickups won't be Brian May pickups, I really like those, though. Those sound great. And I can't remember what trem I chose to put on there. Maybe the standard Jaguar trem, because I've never really ever used one of those before. I'm interested. I like the warble. I like that better than this Floyd Rose shit. I really do. I like the Bigsby warble, or the Strat 6-screw trem. But I didn't win. He did message me back. He emailed me back. Goes, you were a very strong contender. We were actually thinking about doing that. And I don't remember what they ended up going with, but it wasn't my idea. It was something a little bit more traditional. Boo! Boo! I don't remember how to play Ride the Lightning. Guilty as charged. I don't know. God damn it, it ain't right. There's someone else controlling me. That's my best Dave Mustaine impersonation. Brian May had a unique tonal matrix in his Red Special. It's because every part of that guitar was made at home. Every part of that guitar was made at home. He didn't buy any pickups. He didn't buy bobbins. He didn't buy any of that shit. Him and his fucking dad in a basement literally handcrafted each piece of that. That's the amazingness of Brian May's fucking Red Special. Now, was the first one anything... Well, now it is. It's a historic guitar, but... It was probably, something that you would have looked at on the shelf and went, no, this thing's heavy. Look at what it's made out of. What the fuck are these for pickups? Why are there 6 switches on here? But his playing style, mixed with the sound of a coin, I know most people know this, but in case the 3 people in here that don't, how many people are in here anyway? 5. Well, technically 4. I got my alt account doing the thing. Actually, I think that stopped playing. It did because we were looking at that cute puppy. God damn it. Algorithm. I'm back. Fuck, what were we talking about? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a fantastic guitar. I think Brian May's Red, #1, and Tony Iommi's, what was the name of the guy that made Burns? The black one that he has, that you see everywhere with those special... They were humbuckers, but they were P90 in size. I think those 2 guitars alone need to be, like, preserved behind glass and pew-pews. Because yeah. I honestly think those 2 are like sister. Matter of fact, Tony Iommi got one of Brian May's guitars like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Beautiful piece. Beautiful instrument. He had about 50 settings. With his total, I know. I mean, you had the 3 on-off switches, and then you had the phase switches, and then on top of that, you had your tone, and you had your volume. I don't think you had anything else there, but, I mean, the possibilities there are fucking amazing. Can you imagine having the neck and the bridge, and having one of them out of phase, but the other one's in? Oh, man. Quacky, pretty wacky, But unless you were a fucking guru with your fingers, just ask your mom. I am. Those 6 slider switches are live. Yee. I wouldn't want... I mean, this has 3 individual switches for the pickups, and this one has a 3-way switch, and these are just on-off, right? And I can't imagine doing that live, you know. I would just do the volume. Like if I were playing like Dream Warriors, I would just do the volume part for the... Bring the volume down a little bit. And also for the... and then you bring the volume up. Fuck yeah, I love that song. We're the Dream Warriors. I don't want to pee no more. So maybe more than 50. I think 50 might be pushing it, to be perfectly honest with you. No. 6 switches, 2 positions. Carry the 5. Bring over the 3. The angle of the dangle. Portion with the heat of the meat. Squared. I have no idea. I don't know. Bear said, Creep, happy Saturday. What's going on, my buddy? Thanks for coming in, man. Thanks for coming in. You're killing me, Creep. It's fucking crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. Let's go back to making fun of Dave Mustaine. Actually, we weren't really making fun of him, were we? How cool would it be if Kirk took a break and Dave toured with Metallica? And you keep everything else the same. Keep everything else the fucking same. It would be like having 3 bands in one. 3 of the main bands I would listen to growing up. You have Metallica, Megadeth, and Suicidal. And Infectious Grooves. Everyone forgets about Infectious Grooves. Infectious Grooves was a really fun funk thrash band. It was fucking awesome. It was fucking awesome. Really awesome. J-Rob says, hell yeah, Dawkins. Finally got to see them live in 2017. How were they? That seems like one of those bands where, you know, you can't really get the anymore. I'm sure fucking George was doing just fine, but that guy with this, he's constantly with the, you know. All right, so then it must be me. Crazy stuff. I wish you could have saw what my hands were doing, because it's a lot of this, you know. You know, fucking George Lynch was awesome, but Dawkins, I never got into Dawkins. I never got into them. I like Dream Warriors, and I like a couple other little songs here and there. But their music just never, like, there's some songs, and I'm sure, you know, you're like this with other bands. It's like you can hear the talent, and you can hear, you know, but it just does nothing for you. Like, you don't like it, you don't not like it. It's just like, that's how a lot of Dawkins was for me. I don't know why. There was a lot of talent in that band, absolutely. Mainly George and Don Dawkins with his fucking voice. But Dawkins still sounds great. It was at the Chance, and I'm not even going to say that. I know. But Don was getting really political between each song. Fuck that! I am so sick and fucking tired of famous people coming out and acting like I give a shit about what they think politically. If you go back to the early 80s and even older than that, a lot of those, they would say, you know what, I'm an entertainer. I'm here to entertain you. Why do you give a fuck what I think? And I think it's more so that the fans, the sycophants of these people, would fucking latch on to that shit. And that they would use it as a justification for whether they were right or wrong or whatever they're you know? And it's like, really? The dude sings fucking dating songs for a living? The fuck am I going to give a shit about his Paul? I mean, it's interesting to hear, don't get me wrong. If it's like in the middle of an article or something like that, they're just like, hey, what do you think about the current, you know? Well, you know, I think Joe Blow really probably should be like this. But you know what? That's not my place. That's what fucking rich musicians and actors and actresses, that's their fucking, get the fuck in your place. Dance for me, monkey. I got my cranker. Dance. I don't want to hear what you think about politics. Unless, of course, they physically advocate for it, you know. Like if they're part of an organization. I'm cool with that. But Let's Just Playing is fantastic. All the songs off of Lock and Key kick ass. Back for the Attack was a tasty jam too. I think Back for the Attack was the only album I ever owned. I had the EP that had Dream Warriors on it. And I had Back for the Attack because it had Dream Warriors on it. And I liked the cover. I thought the cover was awesome. The blue with the big crest thing and all that. Really great looking cover. It really stood out. Really grabbed me by the balls and said, hey, listen to this. But unfortunately, I wasn't very pleased with it. You know what I've been getting back into? Striper. Again, if you go back to a few of my other streams talking about hair bands, I used to hate hair bands. I used to beat those kids up. We called them fucking posers. Your music sucks shit. Those were words we would say. Dawkins sucks shit. Motley Crue sucks shit. We beat them up. They were wearing a winger shirt. Fucking poser. But I started to appreciate some of the musicianship later on, you know, not the theatrics and the makeup and the fucking spandex and all that. To this day, that's still fucking stupid to me. In fact, I'm going to just come out and use the R word. I think it's fucking retarded. I think it's fucking stupid, but you know what? It worked for the time. They made a lot of money, and they got laid a lot. So, I mean, isn't that what rock and roll's about? Money and pussy. Partying. All three of those things are the downfall of every fucking man. Money, drugs, alcohol, and women. Sorry, Megan. But it's true. It's true. Behind every downfall is one of those three things. I think that's what Gene Simmons said recently, to stop asking him about politics. Good for him. I know Alice Cooper's a big guy about that. He'll come out and talk about Jesus all day long now. So I guess in a way, with my argument here, I'm kind of contradicting myself on that front. But again, accountability. I'll call it out. But yeah, Alice Cooper has said it. I just recently saw a Johnny Carson interview from back in the day, and I actually think Dolly Parton had said that live once too. I'm an entertainer. I'm here to entertain you. You want me to sing a song? No, I'm not talking about politics. I'm here to sing a song. Show you my tits. I gotta play that at least once in every stream, right? That's hard to do on this guitar because of the scallops. You gotta be dead precise with that. No, it's... I don't know. I always get jammed up right there anyway. Yeah, Gene Simmons, even though I don't like him, in fact, I don't even like Kiss. I'll be honest with you. Never got into it. I got to see them live, though. Powerman 5000 opened up for him down at the Providence Civic Center or whatever it was I went to. I had really good seats on the floor by accident because where I was going to be standing, they ended up putting the. It was still on the floor, but they ended up putting the sound system where my seat was, so they fucking bumped me up. I'm like, up. I was on the side of the stage, but I could spit and hit the stage. It was pretty cool. I felt like I got an opportunity that probably 20,000 other people in that building probably deserved more than me. But I'm grateful for it. I'm fucking grateful for it. And, they had some fun songs. They're definitely, they're just they're a band, a party band. You put the music on. There's nothing serious about it. It's all fun. I mean, for fuck's sakes, these guys bled into a vat of fucking ink for a comic book. Get the fuck out of here. But yeah, I can see Gene Simmons say. I can see him being mad about it too. What the fuck do you want to know about that? I play the bass. I have a big tongue. You want me to eat your snatch? Sorry. My girlfriend is here listening with me. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry, girlfriend. These are the people your man hang out with. You might want to rethink things. You might want to act accordingly, ma'am. I'm just kidding. You got a good dude there, Bears fan. You got a good dude. Fucking Goomba. He's Italian. That's all right. Don't judge him on that alone. I'm having a good time this morning, guys, with no fucking agenda. I'm having a really good time. Hold on. One of my, as I was saying earlier, my fiance and one of the girls are down in Worcester now, looking at a college. We're there. We're at that point where we're finally going to be like, get the fuck out of here. Problem is the one that you guys talked to earlier. She's just going to go to Bunker Hill, which means she's going to stay home, just take the T. We got a train station here in town. You just hop right on the T and go to school. The other one's going to be in a dorm. Get the fuck out. We've had you here for 18 years. Get out. Get out. I saw Lynch Mob at M3 in Columbia, Maryland in 2018. Whole festival was really good. I haven't been to a festival since one of the Ozfests. To be perfectly honest with you, man. Yeah, it's been a long time. I saw the first two Ozfests and the fourth one, or maybe it was the first, the third, and the fourth. Saw the first couple of Lollapaloozas, and I didn't get to see the Clash of the Titans tour, I think it was called. It had basically the Big Four without Metallica, and they brought this new band called Alice in Chains with them. I wonder where they went. I wonder what they ever did. Fucking Alice in Chains. I love Alice in Chains. One of the few bands out of that whole Seattle bullshit that I like. But she's laughing. I hope so, because that's the whole point here. You know what, guys? Honestly, I'll say some fucked up shit, but I don't mean it. I don't mean it in any malice. I genuinely have no hate in my heart except for people who if you create victims, if you prey on the weak, then I have a little bit of hate in my heart, and of course I'll have to answer for that in the future at some point in time. But I got no hate in my heart for anything, even if I disagree with it. There's a lot of the Alphabet Mafia I disagree with, but I got no hate in my heart for it, nor do I fucking even talk about it, because it's got nothing to do with me. Live and let live. You're hurting yourself or hurting others, then we got a problem. But if you're not, I'm going to rinse my mouth out with a little of this. I need something cold. Yeah, I don't know why this is even here. I think it was from last night. You can be all grossed out about that all you want. It's in a sealed container. It's just warm. But it's colder than the coffee. It's colder than the coffee. Dude, I will say this, man. Your books, they've been a hit in the house. They've been a real hit. No joke. No joke at all. I haven't been able to fucking use them yet. I haven't been able to look at them, really. That makes me sad. Because I like the cover of the second one. I really do. I would just stare at that all day. A dude on the toilet making a smash with all that madness around him. I'm here for that. I collect skibbity toilet toys, okay? Skibbity, skibbity, skibbity. I love it. I got a skibbity toilet fucking sticker right here. I'm tapping on it, annoying you. In fact, I think I got another one over here. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of skibbity stickers. Hold on. They want you. The TV man wants you. And this is a speaker man and a cameraman showing solidarity. Can't believe I'm fucking 51 years old and I'm buying toys from a... Let's face it was a fucking meme. It was a meme that became a thing. It was a meme. So what do you guys want to talk about? Somebody spew something out there, man. I can't be the only one fucking coming up with things to talk about. This is all about you. I love that. So patriotic. Makes me want to... Oh, wrong one. Denied. Love that song so much. Good stuff. War pigs. No more war pigs have the power. You like how I surprised you like that, huh? Yeah, Mike. It's my buddy. Sorry, going back to why they're down at the college thing. I'm checking on them, making sure they're getting... Because we got some shitty weather, and I get nervous. Made it. Windshield wipe. Wow, no. They ran out of windshield wiper. As in no gas, just windshield wiper fluid. What? I guess she's trying to say she's going to go to a gas station to get windshield wiper fluid, but no gas. All right, J-Rob says, and by the way, it's been a little while since we've chatted. Thanks for popping in, man, if I haven't said that already. Atari Creep, are you a fan of the European metal scene at all? Bands like Halloween, yes! Hammerfall, not so much. Dragon Force, absolutely not. Blind Guardian, never heard of them. The power metal side, and In Flames and Children of Bodom. I know of Children of Bodom and In Flames. I don't know Guardian of Power or Blind Guardians. I'm sorry. Hammerfall I've heard of. Dragon Force I'm not a fan of. Halloween, absolutely. Masquerade, grab your mask and don't be late. Fucking love that song, man. We used to have, like, you know, when you're a kid, you have those rumors that go around. We thought the dude was playing 2 guitar solos at once when it does the whole... Or whatever, you know, he does that ascension downward. I gotta really realign this. The nut is slightly off center. So every now and again the string comes off the fucking high E end of things. When I put a new bridge on here, I'm gonna re-drill the locking nut. Move it center a little bit better. Probably just get some nice walnut because it screws in through the back. You see these 2 holes here. So there's really not much you can do about the placement of that aside from just putting a dowel through the hole and then re-drilling it, which is what I'll probably end up doing. A couple of nice pieces of fucking walnut in there, so it looks nice, you know. Oh, the pickup stuck on my the string was stuck on my pickup. I'm like, what the fuck? It never feels that bad. I saw Children of Bodom in Tucson. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I know any Children of Bodom songs. I have to. I had a whole bunch of friends that used to be really into that stuff. They used to chase bands around that would play around with that, you know. One of his biggest ones, and I know it doesn't fall into that category as far as demographically, but he used to go to the Milwaukee Metal Fest, which would start this tour of this one band every year, and he would literally just follow him. Oh, who was it? Dude just got a new Gibson signature guitar, too. Fuck it. Really, really big metal band. Like hardcore shit. I can't think of it. But they were like usually the big headlining act at the Milwaukee Metal Fest every year. It'll come to me. I hope it comes to me. Yeah, apparently Halloween has had the original singer back in... Oh! Had the original singers back since 2021. Right on. That's awesome. He had a very interesting voice. And I've never heard Gamma Ray that I know of anyway. Kai Hansen, is that how you say that? Kai Hansen from Gamma Ray. Okay, so now I'm starting to double guess myself. Am I thinking of Gamma Ray from all the cheap fucking B movies I used to watch? I don't know. What is the name of that fucking band I'm thinking of? Real heavy stuff, too. I used to call them Creator Light. Oh, they just got a new fucking Gibson Les Paul. Let me, it's gonna bother me if I don't look it up. You know what? Milwaukee. I'm just going to put in a date from, we'll put 96. Key bands, Fleska, this, that. Oh my God, Sorrow Breeds Hate? Ejaculate on, what? Cradle of Filth and Venom reunion in 1997. What? The band I'm thinking of is still not being mentioned. Let me try a different year then. Let's do 99. Who played on it in 1999? Meshuggah? I didn't even think they were around then, were they? Alright, here we go. Milwaukee Metal Fest. Machine Head, great band. Misfits, over years they've gotten fucking... not Man of War. Morbid Angel, Cradle of Filth. God, these bands are taking me way back. I can't read this. It's way, way small. Anyway, he used to follow that band around. Him and that one dude I was telling you about who became a doctor. They had the gainish head in the lady's stomach that they had to cut out. Gamma Ray. Yeah, that's all right, dude. You didn't have to correct that. I caught it. So Gamma Ray was when Halloween first split up in 92. Hanson and Ralph formed Gamma Ray. They were really good. What was it? Still in the same kind of like almost like prog hairband metal. That's how I looked at Halloween. I looked at them as like a prog thing, but leaning towards hair metal. It was like them, and there was another band called Malaya Rage that a lot of people haven't even heard of. Their first album, I can't remember what it was called, but it had a skeleton with a big fucking Native American headdress. What was the name of that album? I can't remember. I want to say it was like Kill or Be Killed or something fucking crazy like that. You know, typical metal shit. But they weren't really even metal. They had their second album had a song on it called The Witching. And it was like... power metal. The Witching. Some will say. That's such a great transition, right? From E to F. I wrote a fucking thrashy song based off of that. It's come on, Chris, volume. Fuck yeah! Metal up your ass! The name of that one band is still fucking... it's killing me. It's killing me. 2026 Gibson Les Paul signature models. Oh my God, it's going to kill me if I can't. Let's go to Gibson Guitars. Let's go to Gibson Guitars, shall we? Ooh, they got a fucking silvery purple junior for $5,300. Oh my God. Oh my God. Where are the signature guitars? I don't want the Gibson TV. Let's see. We got parts and pickups, lifestyle, guitars. Electric, Les Paul. Because I do believe the one that he has is a Les Paul. Oh my God, the store collection. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee to have a fucking burst. And not even because of the value. All right, I'm not getting anything I want here. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. It'll come to me as soon as we're done streaming today. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I like Halloween more than Gamma Ray. J-Rob is saying here. Still very good. They're more like a straight-up modern power metal these days. Check them out. I will. I will definitely check out Gamma Ray. That fucking name sounds awesome. I'm writing it on my W-2s. Shows you how much I give a fuck about that. Gamma Ray band. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out after this, but it's really going to bother me. Excuse me a second, guys. I am going to go into here. Let me see if I can get the chat on my... All right, here we go. We got the chat. I got the chat in front of me on my phone. It's really bothering me, the name of this fucking band. I don't know why. Let's see. Let me go to YouTube. And it's a really nice, like, purple black burst, too. It looks really nice. It's funny, all I'm getting is a bunch of Trogley guitar videos, and he hasn't even reviewed this model yet. Here we go. Mark Morton. Oh, my God, what is the band? La, 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 la. I just turned off the sound. Bum, 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 bum. I guess I can just look him up. I can just look him up. You guys like, what is this kid doing? American musician. That's nice. What is the name of his fucking band? Oh, god damn. Music group. Here we go. Lamb of God! It was Lamb of God. I think we said that. Either way, he's got a really cool hair. I'll show it to you. He's got a really cool signature Les Paul out right now. A really cool one. I'll pull up a picture. I will pull up a picture. That's not a good picture of it. Let me go into actual pictures. Wow, it doesn't really photograph very well now, does it? Okay, here we go. We got a good picture. I promise you'll be seeing things here in a second. I promise. Give me patience. Ah. This fucking thing. Look at that. I normally don't go for a perimeter burst when it comes to like Les Pauls and stuff like that, but it's a fucking wicked nice looking guitar, isn't it? Isn't it wicked fucking nice? But Halloween, yeah, man, I dig them. I really dig them. I didn't have too many of their albums. I know I had Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1. I mean, obviously, it's like where that's where everyone got their first fix of them. But I'll say it earlier, I'm starting to get into more, not like get into them, but like, I liked Stryper. I really did, because I thought they had a very unique thing going on. Yeah, they did the makeup, they did the spandex and all that shit. And they went a little too far with the black and yellow stripes. But they even tied that into the Bible with Isaiah, whatever the fuck. I can't remember. Oh, sorry. I try not to combine my stupidity with the Lord, but yeah, I am as he made me. Their Jacksons looked awesome. Back when Jackson guitars were awesome. What happened, man? How far we've fallen since the 80s. How far we have fallen. But To Hell with the Devil was a great album. I thought it was a great album. I liked it. But I've been watching a lot of reaction videos of people listening to that song. You just hear that high voice and all that crap. How they're. You know what one of my new favorite things to do is? And this comes in and out of favor every now and again. Watching women or young ladies react to Order 66. I don't know what it is, and it's not because I'm morbid against like chicks or anything, or I have any kind of like gender bias. I'm not a chauvinist. You know, I'm a live and let live kind of guy. We even talked about that earlier. You know, people are like, well, girls can't rock when we're talking about Joan Jett. Started the whole conversation with her. And how it was amazing that she just didn't give a fuck, and it worked for her, you know? In a time where chicks weren't taken serious playing music. Rock and roll, anyway. They were always like trophies or, you know, fuck toys and shit like that. And, hey, you got this one fucking rad chick who just making noise and enjoying it and doing the thing, but fuck, what was I gonna say? God damn it, you guys are probably all on the edge of your seats right now. Oh yeah, there's just something about watching them breaking down crying, especially when it gets to the scene where Anakin meets up with the younglings. Master Skywalker, there's too many of them. What are we to do? You're gonna go to sleep, kid. You're about to take a fucking nap. A Sith nap. Lightsaber to your little face. Very dynamic band. The piano ballads, borderline thrash riffs, incredible dynamic. Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna laugh, but I love Pink Bubbles Go Ape by Halloween. It's such a catchy tune. I don't know if I'm familiar with that one. Pink Bubbles Go Ape? I can't say I know what you're talking about, J-Rob. I'm learning so much from you. Thank you. Yeah, Striper isn't awesome. Their newer stuff isn't bad either. They had the cheesy 80s band too. Yeah, real bangers. I saw them at M3. Right on. That's awesome. One of their, I think it was their drummer, owned a studio here in Boston called Bristol Studios. That's where one of my bands, Noise. That was an interesting band. I kind of wish that band did something because it shouldn't have. It was me, the singer, who was actually a bass player, who, if I were to use the word prodigy with anyone I know, it would be him. I mean, that's a dude who could just do anything musically. It doesn't matter what it is, guitars, piano, drums, bass. It doesn't matter. Give him a fucking tuba. He'll get something out of it for you. You know what that's from. It was him and I, and then this brothers, another guitar player and a bassist, and neither one of them had but a year under their belt playing, period, never mind with bands. And then this weird drummer named Dave, who hardly ever showed up with all of his gear. I can't tell you how many times he would show up to a gig and be like, I don't have a fucking snare. And then he'd go sit at the bar and get fucking loaded. And we'd be running around trying to borrow a snare from another fucking band. We finally got rid of him. And then we got this guy named Johnny. That's it. I never knew his name other than Johnny. They call him Johnny the Filthy Puerto Rican. He came in with that name. I don't know. I didn't call him that. I call him Johnny. I also called him a prick because he was the reason I broke my fucking my SG. He wouldn't stop. Me and the other guitar player would be over there, be like, all right, we're going to tune up now. He'd be like, okay, no problem. And as soon as one of us went, so I took my fucking SG and I was just like, pow! Snapped the fucking heel. Everyone was like, oh, why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? They knew. They knew, and they all liked it. They were all glad that he got hit with my guitar. But they had to play the role, because he was a good drummer. He was a nice guy. He was a really nice guy. He was just a bit of a prick. Halloween went ape shit. Sounds like it. Pink Bubbles Go Ape was their 1991 album. Okay, see, you've already lost me on that one. I think, well, no. Because when did The Hell with the Devil come out? 87, right? 87, 88? Yeah, I don't know. I just, it was too hairbandy. There was just something about The Hell with the Devil. I don't know. Maybe because it just sounded metal, you know. I remember my brother heard that. To hell with the devil! And he fucking kicked in my bedroom door and grabbed me by my neck. He was like, are you out of your fucking mind listening to blatant satanic shit like this? When your father's a minister for the Church of Christ, have you no respect? It's a Christian band, Tom. Get your hands off my neck. I can't breathe. It's a Christian band. They're saying the devil has to go to hell. The same guy who introduced me to, like, Dio, Alice Cooper, you know, Iron Maiden. Fucking choking me out. He didn't have respect for anything either. It was just random anger, I guess. I don't know. I've never listened to Pink Bubbles, but I do have an album that I listen to quite often. The title of the album is called Hot Smoke and Sassafras. And it's by this late 60s one-hit wonder band called The Bubble Puppy. Psychedelic stuff, you know, late 60s psychedelic. I would highly recommend it. Hot Smoke and Sassafras was their one big hit. But that whole album is wonderful. I'm talking about from fucking start to the end. It's all bangers. It's all wonderful. It's fucking great stuff. Yeah, I'm sure it was, Howard. I'm sure it was a bit. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that kind of stuff. But I hear one of them is really ill right now. Did I hear that correctly? One of the members of Striper is battling a form of cancer right now? It's my understanding they just released. They're releasing an album too, or they did release one. I know their guitar player just did an interview. I don't know any of their names. I think one of them was named Michael. Michael Sweet or something like that. But I read somewhere that, first of all, they're getting a signature Jackson guitar. A new one. They went to Washburn for a while, too, I think. But the old Jacksons are awesome. I miss Jackson when Jacksons were awesome. And I bet you if Dave Mustaine had, going back to Megadeth, for those of you not in the guitar world know, Jackson was the premier fucking, them and Kramer were the 80s guitars. Then you had Ibanez coming at the late 80s. But they were the ones that took Eddie Van Halen's ideas and capitalized on it. And boy, did they. A lot of really great instruments came out of that pocket of 83 to 88, 89, maybe even to 90. And Jackson has just had their own thing going on, and Dave Mustaine from Megadeth played Jackson exclusively. I mean, he had a BC Rich and he had a couple other things, but mainly you would always see him with his King V. And he eventually had a signature King V, which I tried to buy one of those 1 years ago. And I ended up not doing it, and I regret it. It was the silver one that they normally had. It had a Kaler trem on it. And it still had the J90 and J85 or something like that. The active pickups, those oversized humbuckers that Jackson used to have, with the bold writing Jackson on it. I love those. Aesthetically, I just love them. They're oversized. So they gave the guitar its own deal. Whenever I see an 87 Jackson that's been replaced with the pickups, I'm like, fuck you, why? I always, whenever I see a guitar for sale, a Jackson, that doesn't have the original active pickups in it that I know it should have, like the Rhodes and all that stuff from that time period, I always message them saying, do you have the originals and the little preamp that came with it? I'll buy that off you. I want that. To eventually build my dream guitar from Jackson. But Dave Mustaine, Jackson was up for sale, and Dave Mustaine had used them faithfully for decades and pushed their product. And he wanted to buy it. And they said no. And they sold it to Fender. They sold it to Fender Musical Instrument Group or company or whatever it's called. So, of course, Dave Mustaine left them and went to Dean, I think, at the time. He either went to ESP or Dean. I think ESP first. And he had the NV guitar, NV, the letters. And then he went over to Dean, which Dean made some really nice things for him. In fact, I think some of Dave Mustaine's guitars with Dean are way fucking superior to the Jackson ones. But that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Dave Mustaine, had he bought Jackson, it probably would have stayed. It probably would have stayed where, Hey, what's up? Intellivision Gamer, formerly known as Corey. Or is it Corey, formerly known as Casey? Maybe that's more accurate. Good morning to you, sir. I hope you are well. J. Rob says, my friend had a BC Rich Revenge Warlock Flying V with the reverse headstock and the Floyd Rose Custom, USA made. He ruined it by shaving down the neck so he could shred. I don't know if that's ruining it, unless he fucked it all up. The truss rod started popping out. I know what you mean, though, J. Rob. You're right. He ruined the value of it and all that stuff. I'm a fan of stuff like that, though. I really am. I love it when purists lose their fucking minds over something. I'm the type of guy that would take a burst down on the road and swap the pickups if something was going on. Or, have it refretted. I'm the one who sits there and understands the hugeness of the object, but have no give a fuck about the object. A lot of people get mad when you mod consoles and shit, and I'm over here mod them all! Mod every fucking one of them. Nothing is sacred to me except for children. That's it. Children and the elderly. As a matter of fact, my dad used to say, you know what? Once they get to a certain age, they can do whatever they want. Because I would get mad, an old person in front of me would be rude or something like that to me, or cut me off or whatever. My dad would, Chris, they've been around long enough, they've earned it. Just let them be. They ain't got much time left. And I took that. I'm going to take that wisdom to the grave. I tell that to the kids all the time. He scalloped the fretboard. Every other one of my frets are scalloped. Let me see if I can find one that you can see right here. Boop, boop, boop. Every other one. I don't know why they did that before I bought this guitar. And I'm actually getting to the point where I think I want to replace the neck. It's fun, but when I'm just playing chords, it goes out of tune. No, Howard. I'm gonna strongly disagree with you. Yeah, the last one. I knew you would appreciate some of that, Casey. I knew you would appreciate some of that. Corey, the man formerly known as Casey the Intellivision Gamer, you're a good dude, man. Thanks for popping in, man. I hope you're enjoying your morning beverage, whether it be coffee or tea. I'm just kidding. Tea is actually a really wonderful drink. And the right ones are very beneficial to us. But as far as specialty tools, I'm gonna come right out and tell you absolutely not. Absolutely not. Files are more than capable of doing it. The most important tool when it comes to scalloping a fretboard correctly are these and this. Oh, and these two. These right here. So you get your brains, you get your eyeballs, and you get your hands. I had a Charvel CX390 for years. I got in parts for like $30. I can show you a picture of that too. I wish I had sold that. That actually had my humbucker from my Nightfly that we talk about all the time. The Nightfly pickups, the humbucker, was a DiMaggio, and it was a cross between Super Distortion and Tone Zone. Beautiful pickup. Beautiful pickup. Cleans up nicely, gets dirty and all that. But, no, scallop frets are not for everyone. They're not for the lighthearted, I'll tell you that. But you don't need specialty tools. I scalloped the last 4 frets of that Charvel just with one rat tail file, just very carefully. And then I went in there. Actually, I think I started with my Dremel, and then I went in there and fine tuned it with my rat tail file, not going to the tip because my rat tail file at the time tapered at the tip. So I made sure it was at this, the constant. You just gotta be careful. That's all. You just gotta be careful. But you don't need specialty tools for that. You need a file. You need the right size file, and you need to have patience, and you need to be smart. You don't have to be smart, but you need to be smart about what you're fucking doing, or you can ruin a fretboard. You go too far and that truss rod gets exposed, you're done. You're all done. That neck is garbage. Unless, of course, you take the filings and you put a little bit of a barrier between the truss rod and what you're about to do. You tape off the sides and you fill the hole in with the fucking glue and sawdust from when you were making the hole to begin with, the scallop to begin with. But he ruined the neck because he took and gashed the shit out of it. Even if he did it nice and professionally, it is arguably, you're right, he ruined it. But if it worked for him, you know what, at the end of the day, he didn't sand it down to put a new finish on it or anything. Wow. Yeah, I would have at least started with some light paper, going up and down the neck very, and when you're doing something like that, like I don't really have to do it to this neck. It does have a clear coat on it. But luckily this doesn't, it's poly, so it doesn't get sticky, You're not really sanding it off. You're literally trying to just lightly get rid of layers, which is still sanding it, I know. But I would, very gently. People don't have the patience to do things like that. And that's when you run into problems like uneven sanding, and then you have the problem with the truss rod. If you go too thin, if you're over here taking a fucking Gibson Les Paul and trying to create a Wizard 2 neck, like an Ibanez Wizard 2, like paper thin neck, you're fucked. Because the truss rod's not even in the same spot. People don't think of that. Because when you're making a thinner neck, you have to put a truss rod in a very specific place. Whereas when you have a thicker neck, the truss rod's further down. You have to have it as centered as possible in the billet of wood. And it's different depending on the thickness of the neck. So if you're taking a neck that's this thick and you want to make it like this, you're going to touch that fucking truss rod. So be careful. Go ahead. Ask me how I fucking know this. Ask me how I know this. Thank God the guitar wasn't worth fuck all. Except for me. No, he didn't scallop the fretboard, but he ruined the underside. That's too bad. That's too bad. Howard says, should only go down a millimeter or two. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know how far these ones go down. Looks like we had a good 3, maybe 4 mils at its the peak of the valley, if that makes sense. You doing all right, kid?
Yeah.
All right.
When I got up, my foot fell asleep.
Oh no!
Well, it was still asleep, so I went to go step on it. It just buckled.
It just buckled. That fucking foot. You want me to smash it with a hammer?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think that would hurt it more.
Oh, I was just trying to teach it a lesson for falling asleep on you.
Please don't.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you. Could just chop it off. I don't know if that would hurt any more or less.
I think that would hurt a lot, my friend.
I don't know. After a while, you just pass out from the pain.
And then I started puking.
And then I would cauterize it with my torch. And then we have a foot to hang on the wall. Everybody wins. I just hope you don't get an infection and die.
I need prosthetic.
I'm not bringing you. No, you can walk around on the stump. Toughen up, kid. Walk uphill both ways in the snow with no shoes on. Help, I'm being abused.
Okay.
No, all right, do not spray me. I got my guitar, I got the computer. So my snake tank is over there. All right, enough with the flicking. It was funny the first fucking time. Get the fuck out of here. I'll give you the back of my... No, I love her so much. She's my heart right here. This is how we interact all the time. Don't think there's anything weird going on. Like, she's more abusive to me than I will ever be to her. But my snake tank's over there, and I have to spritz it every day, a couple of times to keep the bedding slightly. I don't like keeping it too wet. I find that you can get a lot of scale rot that way. So I just keep it humid enough for him, and I have a humid box that he can go into when it feels like he needs to, He goes in the shed or something like that. Plus, I have a tank that I'll actually literally soak him in. So, but she was gonna spritz me with that fucking thing. Should only go down a millimeter or two. Yeah, you shouldn't go too far. You don't really need to go too far. The idea is to get rid of the hindrance of the wood, so you can really dig into the, And you wouldn't think there is a difference, but there is. There is a fucking absolute difference. How does that keep fucking happening? I don't get it. I don't know. All right, guys, you think we're done for the day? Or do you want to hang out a little bit more? Let me know. I just don't have much to talk about. I mean, I could play games, but I'm not in the mood. We figured that out earlier. Let me get rid of a couple of these fucking tabs I opened up that you can't even see anyway. But yeah, some of my favorite guitars growing up. Let's see if I can remember the exact fucking order in which I got them. So my very first guitar was an ES335 in a sunburst finish copy. It was an Aria Pro 2, and the action was like this high off the fretboard, except for the cowboy chords section, right? And I suppose now, with my knowledge, I could have fixed that. But my dad paid like $50 or $20 for that guitar to see if I would stick with it, and I did. So then he bought me this one when I transitioned from elementary to junior high when I graduated 6th grade and moved in there. And it wasn't even so much more so that. It just happened during that time period. So I took it as like a graduation present, even though we didn't really celebrate that. You were just going to another class. But my dad, he was a wonderful dude. And he was like, all right, he's having trouble playing this fucking thing, but he's really giving it all. So let me go up to Daddy's and buy him something, you know. And he came home with not this exact one, but like if you put the two together, you couldn't tell which one was which. It's the same exact guitar, just not the very guitar. That one ended up getting destroyed by my friend. Sold it to him after I got my first Chevelle Model 4. And he sanded it down, found out there was plywood underneath there. And then he thought that meant it was a bad guitar, so he smashed it. I smashed the ES335 copy after I got this guitar. But yeah, after I got that, I ended up with my early 80s Gibson Explorer in black, which I wish it was in white. My dream is to have one in white. And Epiphone just came out with a version of it. It's not quite even close to the same. It has the idea of it. Gibson put out one that has the idea of it. I want an original one. And actually, I've been thinking about doing this video for a while. Hey, Lily! Do me a favor. Can you come in here real quick, please? Can you get me the pumpkin jug over by my hat? And bring it over to me, please? Today? I mean, you got up to go over there. Why are you just going to sit there and stare at me?
All right. I want to be sassy with
All right. All right. Well, you can be sassy in a little bit. You want to go for a walk later?
No.
A nice winter walk?
I went outside already today. It's cold. There's snow on the ground. Fuck this.
I would never fucking be home. I would never be home. Ever. Ever, ever, never, ever. Especially during snowy days like this. All right. I want to finish telling my story. Your usefulness is over.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, God.
What?
Oh, God. Oh, she sat down. Nice. Whew. But I had that, and then I traded that for a Les Paul Studio in 92 or 3. It was wine red with gold hardware. It had, again, I know this is just for the guitar guys. The rest of you are just like, whatever. It had the ebony board with the mother of pearl inlays. You know, some of them had dot inlays. Some of them had I had the trapezoids. And I eventually sold that one off too. But my dream guitar are two. One I had in my hands and it just never became mine. And that Explorer. The first time I saw James Hetfield with that thing on Cliff 'Em All as a real young kid, just starting to learn guitar itself and figuring out metal and you know, finding my place in music where I want to be. I saw that video and I was just like, I don't know what the fuck that thing is, but it's got metal. It's got kind of a vintage car vibe. I'm a car guy. That's what all of this is about. All of this is about fucking hot rodding. It's all hot rod. I even have my my Von Dutch and where is it? The Route 66 is right there. You know? So I've been into cars my whole life. I grew up with a greaser as a father. And his best friend, Jimmy McGlory, he's long gone now, him and his wife. He was that dude that, you know that joke that he went to the barber for an oil change, not a haircut? He was still that dude. And you could give this guy a lawn chair, some petroleum jelly, a few wheels, and something that might fucking be a motor, and he would make a car out of it for you. Wonderful stuff. But I fell in love with that guitar, and I would constantly go into shops saying, do you have any of those rear-routed Explorers? Because normal guitar of that kind would have a big pickguard here, and there'd be a switch here, and you know, and it would just have the 3-knob layout, and I didn't like it as much. And the 80s Explorer, and that's what we call it now, the 80s. It was called the Designer Series when it came out. Were slightly, somebody said feminized. And you know what? They were saying it negatively, but I'm going to say, I'm taking it back as a positive. certain things were smoothed out a little bit more, you know, for the metal guy, the thrash metal guy. And it came with a set of these pickups called Dirty Fingers, which they still sell. Amazing sounding pickups. But it had a special layout. It had 2 volumes and a tone, like in a triangle pattern, and the 3-way switch was down here. It was just a magnificent guitar. And then I saw it again in a video by Overkill called Hello from the Gutter. In fact, that dude looked like James Hetfield in that video. You know, and I thought it was him being like a special guest player. But the dude was playing mad leads, and I'm like, yeah, I know James isn't really into that kind of... He can play leads. He can play leads, don't get me wrong. But they're always slower ones, like... you know, stuff like that. But I would go, do you have one of those in white? And a lot of shops were like, what are you talking about? Other ones were like, why do you want a rear-routed one? And I chased that guitar for so long, right? And I found one at Daddy's Junkie Music on Route 1 in Saugus. It was black, though, for $350. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to buy it. I know it's black. And it's funny, they were selling it as a double whammy Metallica guitar. Because James used the Gibson in white, but then he went to ESP in black. Same guitar shape, you know, the Explorer shape. So it was like the best of both worlds. And I was going to put EMGs in it, but I chose not to because I did like the Dirty Fingers that were in it. And I figured, not knowing what he actually recorded with at the time, that that's how he would have recorded the music that I'm loving so much. Turns out he was using other guitars. That Explorer was literally just a backup that became a thing. But I never got my hands on a white one, never seen one in person to this fucking day. To this day. And now they go, you can find junk ones for like $3,000. But if you want one, even with a faded finish, like really yellowed over, because Gibson uses nitrocellulose lacquer, which will yellow and tan over depending on how much sunlight, smoke is in the air, stuff gets spilled on it. Nitro is such a fucking fidgety finish. And it literally goes against what a finish is supposed to be. A protective layer that looks nice. It does exactly the opposite. It cracks, it shrinks, it fades, it yellows, it stinks. I love it. But we're getting to the jug. I promise. We're getting to the jug. But I've never had a white one. Never had a white one. And it's been my dream to have one of those before I die. The legit one, though. The legit one. Gibson has kind of released them over the years in small batches. But instead of doing that feminization of the body, they just use their regular Explorer shape and put the control layout. So it has the idea of it, the vibe. And the original ones were made with alder and maple, whereas traditionally it's all mahogany, and that's what they end up using these days, all mahogany. So it doesn't have the features and everything. So I'm always still on the hunt for one of those, which brings this into the play. And those of you who have been around for a while, anyone lurking in the background that's hoping I talk about the Amico so you can make a fucking gay-ass live stream about it. And I mean that in every way, sense, shape, or form. And when I say gay, I'm not talking about sexuality, by the way. The reason I mention that is because back when the Amico was first announced, I was like, I'm going to have to save up for it. So I had a picture of an Amico right here. But there was also a picture of a lightsaber down here from this thing called Savi's Workshop. Where at Galaxy's Edge you can go in there and there's a big story that's being told around you. And it's a real thematic thing. And then at the end of the day you come out with a lightsaber that you assembled yourself. You chose the components and you chose the color of the blade and all kinds of stuff. And I had pictures of those in here because that's what this was going to save up for. And I had that lightsaber. And even though it's not what I wanted, I have an Amico, okay? And even if I didn't have that, it still would be void, because obviously I'm not going to be able to purchase one. So I took those images off of that, and that's exactly what this is for now. I legit locked this down. I took a whole thing of JB Weld, and I had to clean up. But that's what this is for now. I'm either going to use this to buy one of those Explorers when it's full, hopefully, and or a really nice Les Paul that was created the year of my birth, 1975. It'll have to be a deluxe because I don't think they had standards back then. But let me go back to the chat here. Shrewsbury's calling. I'm telling you, we got to get rid of this landline. It's fucking just, oh, I hate it. The only people that call are bill collectors when we're a little behind once in a while. Or fucking scam bullshit. Or people looking for fucking money for, the policeman's ball. They still do that around here. But it's more of a, you're donating to the Fraternal Order of Police. Which I'm all about. I support the blue. I support the blue and the red and all that. All those fucks out there that endanger their lives to protect us. I don't care politically what's going on or any of that crap. At the end of the day, I'll back blue all day long. If people don't like that, they can eat a dick. Not mine. I'd like to keep mine for a little while. Just for a little while. No, he didn't scalp the front. Okay, we already got through that. Should only go a few mil. I might pick me up a red special. That's about the only guitar that seems interesting besides the Gibson Les Paul Deluxe. I like the Deluxes, but I don't like the mini humbuckers. I don't think they have the same soul as a PAF, though they have their time and place in the right conditions. Of course, they're beautiful, but yeah, I don't know. I actually would talk about people sacred and stuff like that. I would absolutely rip the mini humbuckers out of a deluxe, a vintage one, and at least replace the bridge with a PAF style. Probably a custom bucker from Gibson. It's a fucking $200 pickup. Jesus Christ, $400. I said hi, Don Khan. How you doing, my buddy? Thank you for popping in. I genuinely appreciate that, man. J-Rob says, what exactly is the purpose of scalping a fretboard? Easier to play or something? What it is, yeah, it puts less stress on your fingers when you have to be a noodly guy. You have to be one of those guys that can constantly, do one of these fucking deals. And if you look like Yngwie Malmsteen scalps all of us, I have his guitar pick right here. I have his guitar pick. It's actually used. He used it at the Marquee. I think it was the Marquee. And some other guy brought it to me. Whom I trust their words. I don't think they were lying. They were really big into the the G4, the Yngwie Malmsteen, Steve Vai, Satriani, Johnson, like those kind of not necessarily neoclassical, but the composing guitar players, stuff like that. The benefit is, think about, okay, you have two cars. One has a normal suspension, the other one's a really nice air ride suspension. That's the best way I can describe it. Howard, am I even right on that one? It makes bends are so much more controllable because you don't have the fretboard jamming your finger up or anything like that. And not that you can't learn to control your bend. In fact, that's one of the first guitar lessons I ever put on my other channel, which I don't do a lot because I don't know the terms. I genuinely never learned traditional music. I just fucking learned how to play the guitar by learning how to play the guitar. But, I mean, you can do that all day long with precision. And we were talking about George Lynch earlier. A lot of his bends on, what was I playing? Dream Warriors, probably. Like there, that's very precise. That's one string. And you bend it for 3 notes. Now, can I do that with a non-scalloped? Yeah. But it feels different. So once you get one of the frets that have nothing underneath the string, and what's happening is the string is now riding on the metal part, which is the actual fret. And that's where the note comes from. But there's nothing underneath where your finger's playing. So it gives you this freedom. The only problem is if you scallop too much of your fretboard, when you go to play chords, you can tend to press a little too hard on the string by accident, and it's inevitable. You're not gonna. There's nothing you can do about it. And because the fretboard's not there to kind of stop the note, it'll go off pitch. Usually it'll go sharp, because you're bending it. You're tightening the string. And how that. Okay, so when a guitar is set up, you have a nut, right, and then you have the bridge, and those two things set where the strings are on the fretboard. And they're set specifically for the fact that you have those metal bars that actually have to create the note. The string has to press down on that. So there's only so high or low you can cut this part for the string. Cut it too low and you're just going to get that because it's going to be touching the thing. And too high, and again, when you press down, you're going to go out of tune. Like, here's a fret without... Here's a fret without a scallop, and I'll press as hard as I can. It's not changing pitch, but I do that to a scalloped one. So you can play things way out of tune with a scalloped fretboard, but the main benefit is for noodlers, guys who, if you're I could never sweep. I'm not a sweeper guy. But sweeping, it's like having an air ride suspension on your fucking fretboard. I didn't mean to make that a fucking 20-minute segment, and some people think it just looks cool. And that's why they'll only do, like, up here. Like, a lot of Steve Vai's guitars, the last 4 frets are scalloped. Some people will do it from the 12th fret down. I don't know. But, Jay, I think the scalloping is mostly for players with fat fingers, like Yngwie, sausage hands. It does help with that, too. Yep. For players like me with skinny fingers and spider hands, I actually like playing this. Okay, that's one way to look at it. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It goes out of tune and sounds off. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. You forget that there's no meat underneath the board. We subconsciously rely on the piece of wood that's on the neck to keep us in tune, believe it or not. People don't look at it that way, but it's true. How high or how low you have the strings set, and even the radius. A lot of people don't account for the neck has a radius going this way. This one has a 12-inch radius. And if the saddles aren't in tune with that, then you can't get the proper height going across all 6 strings. I mean, of course, there are custom radii that people use sometimes, like they like their high E lower, but everything else super high. I mean, we're not going to get into those nitpicks. But as a general rule, if you look at, like, say, a Fender Strat style guitar, it's the perfect one to think of when you're talking about setups, because those radiuses are pretty. I mean, they start with 7.5, 7.25. Someone tell me in the comments. Now they do 9.5, I think, up to 12. 12 is a nice standard, nice middle ground. It's not flat, but it's not round. Gibson has been using 12 since day one. Every one of their Les Pauls, unless there's something special going on with it, has a 12-inch radius. People playing with compound radiuses now, where it'll start like at 12 here and then go up to like 16 up here. Because the flatter it is, the more you can do this stuff. But the rounder it is, the more you can do the cowboy chord stuff. So a lot of companies like Jackson, we were talking about earlier, Ibanez, Schecter's really big on it. ESP will do a 10-inch to 16-inch compound radius. I don't know how the fuck you set up something like that. I guess you just do your best. And it is what it is. Holy shit, we've been on for, 3:16. Out of tune because of a scalloped fret. I miss him. I miss Eddie. I miss Dime. I miss them all. I miss Dime more than I miss Eddie, though. But yeah, this is the old Amico bucket. It did get somewhat filled for a while, and then we used it for bills and shit once. Actually, no, I used it for Disney. But I've been actually reusing it lately, so that's why there's ducats in there, and there's a fuck ton. Anytime I have coin in my pocket when I get home, it goes in here. My other scally cap actually sits on the top of this. And just to the left of it is where I keep this scally cap with my wallet and my keys. If you really care to know any of that shit. Bears fan says, I gotta head out, Creep. Hey, man, you and the little lady have a wonderful afternoon. I'm glad I was able to give you guys some chuckles. But yeah. And J. Rob's thanking. Wow, that's weird. I actually had to click to get that to come down. Hell yeah, Overkill. I got to see them live as well. No, I don't like pumping gas. Rules. Not for me. Yeah. I just, what was that one song? I don't care what you say, fuck you. I don't care what you say, fuck you. But yeah, it was just that one song, that one, music video that made me fall in love more with the early 80s Explorer. Chris, what's the jar for again? I'm saving up money to buy either an original 80s Explorer in white or a Les Paul of my birth year, 1975. And I fucking, I don't ever ask or beg. I don't like doing that unless it's for the Alzheimer's Association. We're going to be talking about it soon. Get your donations in now to be part of the fucking giveaways. Hey, man, I just shot you an email. All right, I will be sure to shoot my eyes upon it, and I shall read it. Well, I'll have the kid read it. I don't know how to read. I said that in the review of your book. The overview. Wasn't a review. The overview. I think I said in that fucking thing that you reached out and said, I know you don't know how to read, but your kids do. Let me send you a few books. I don't mind poking fun of myself. I can read. Ever since I took the Evelyn Wood sped reading course, my sped reading has improved 100%. Anyone tell me what comedian that is from the early days? That, I believe, was one of the Rodney Dangerfield Young Comedian specials on HBO. But regardless, yeah, hey, you enjoy your day. I'll be sure to check out that fucking email and see what's going on. And we'll talk soon. But the jar is to save money. To save money for something. Very specific that I can't just use my... Oh, but yeah, going back to the whole e-begging shit, I don't really do any of that. And whenever somebody sends me something, it's funny, we're just talking to Bears Fan. He just sent me a couple of books that he authored under the name The Facsmith on Amazon. Go check them out. Really good shit right there, man. Really good shit. Hey, yo. Chindan. Or as we say in the Irish, Slanchi. Fuck, what was I talking about, man? What was the question? Oh, we already went through that. We already went through the jar. I don't know. Regardless. Whatever I just said. Fuck, I need to eat something. I'm getting hungry. But, alright, folks. I am going to call it at that. I've been on for fucking 3 hours. Holy shit. Your video overview was fantastic too, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really did feel bad, making it the way I did because of the nature of the book. I would have liked to have made it in a way that could have gotten out to a broader audience, but that felt right. It just felt right to do it that way. I don't know why. Every now and again, I like to be a little more creative, but... Oh, man. All right, my dudes and dudette, if you're even still in here. How many are in here? 8 people! Oh, my God. There's 8 of you, and none of you have anything to say to me. I'm getting bored over here. I'd stay on if I had something to talk about, but I don't. And my throat's starting to get... How the fuck can people do this for hours at a time? I don't get it. I don't get it. But either way, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning / early afternoon. I'm going to go outside and clean up the 3 or 4 inches that we got overnight and just try to figure out what the fuck I'm going to do with the other 10 inches we're going to get on Sunday night. But either way, man, I hope you all have a wonderful Saturday, regardless if you have snow or not. I enjoy the snow, but I'm starting to get scared because I don't have anywhere to put it. And we have like things like an automobile. Well, that's really all I got to worry about outside. I've got a garage for everything else. Yeah, and the car can't go in there. Ugh. It's more of a workshop for the landlord. By the way, it's still not home. He's still in the fucking hospital. But I don't know. Either way, guys, thanks for hanging out with me this afternoon, this early morning. I genuinely appreciate you enjoying your morning beverage with me. We played a couple of games. We talked. We laughed. We cried. We touched each other's genitals. It was a good time. It was a good time, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I do love you guys. I'm still trying to get the missus to do the Lego live. We got 2 fucking sets of Lego here. I got a little game controller thing, and she's got a giraffe. I wonder if it has a purple tongue for the Lego pieces. That'd be great detail. They've been doing really well lately, but bon appetit. But yeah, bye. Bye, guys. Until next time, take care. Creep it real. Wherever in the world you're at, doing well. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You know all the stuffs. Hit the like button, subscribe. Oh, what I was saying was I never beg anyone for anything, but if anyone had one in their closet they want to get rid of, I'll be more than fucking grateful to take it off your hands. Early 80s White Explorer or a 1975 Les Paul of some sort. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully we'll come back later on tonight with some Lego. And if not, it's 50-50 if I'll be streaming Monday because we might be snowed in. You know, the family might be all home because school will be canceled and work will be canceled. And pussies. Everyone's a bunch of fucking pussies now.